What's up, guys? Boogie Buck again, guys. I got a great compilation for you guys today. We're gonna be cooking. I got so many videos for you guys, as you can see. Um, I got so much to talk about, so many dating lessons to learn today. And as usual, I'll be putting the links down below for all the videos. I don't get to finish all of them. So for all the content creators, all the channels that you'd like to go to the original channel to complete a video that I don't finish, link in the description. So many of you guys ask me, "Oh, where's the full video? Where's the link?" In the description, not in the comments, in the description of the video. If you click right under the title, you'll see. But today, some of the titles we're going to be going through include women making the nice guy wait. That's one of them. Feminism, as usual. Why men really gave up on dating, if we're going to be honest. Women looking for sugar daddies. So, dating, money, love, feminism, name it, sex. I got it all for you guys. You already see the title of the video. So, shout out to Andrew, whatever podcast. So, without further ado, let's go.
I'm confused because there seems to be like, if a woman says, I'm gonna, maybe she doesn't even have to be a hoe. She just likes this guy and she's like, you know what, we're gonna sleep with each other like 2 weeks in. And then the next relationship, she's like, yeah, I didn't really like that. I wanna wait longer. Like I've always waited in my relationships, always. I think with my fiance, it was like the soonest. And I think we slept together after like a month and a half. Usually I'm waiting like in between 2-3 months. But who cares? Like, I'm confused as to what, like,
The guy who's paying for those dates as you're making him wait, he cares. Because every man knows there's a guy in your past that didn't have to wait 3 months. Every guy who dates you knows at the back of his mind there are men who didn't have to take you on dates. So that's why men care.
Sure, to be there seems to be what's that word, like almost like a disdain if a girl decides she wants to change her mind. I just don't get it. It's implicit consent, and men do it all the time. They go through a hoe phase and then they're like, wow, that did not benefit me, I don't like it. I don't want to do that with the next woman. And I'm just wondering, learning from our lessons doesn't always mean we're hypocritical. It means we learned and we grew. That's a part of being a human being, a well-evolved one.
Sure.
So I think that's where the ladies make mistakes by comparing men and women like apples to apples. No, most of the time it's apples to oranges. So she made a claim that men have a whole phase and then they decide they want to wait. Out of 10 men, you're probably going to find maybe two if you're lucky. Most men complain about spending too much on dates and then being ghosted, and then in the future they say, okay, on first dates I've been taking women out on expensive dinner dates, but going forward I will spend less. I'll ask women to go out on coffee dates. I'll ask women to go in a park and walk. I'll ask women to go get a drink rather than doing food, paying $200 on a dinner date, and then she ghosts you. Because now men learn over time that, hey, listen, some women are going to use you for free food. So men, that's one thing men change. But very few men talk about, you know what, I've been having sex on the first date or within the first 3 dates. It's too quick. Now I'm going to find a woman who's going to make me wait. No man said that ever. She's lying.
Well, the claim here that I'm making is not necessarily that the woman is a hypocrite, but that from the male perspective, this is a really, really raw deal. But again, I agree with you. Women can do this. There's no dispute from my position that, again, a woman could fuck 1,000 men instantly 5 minutes after meeting them, and then literally the next day after just having a train ran on her, she can say, I'm going to wait until marriage, and she can absolutely do that. There's no dispute there. What I'm saying is the guy who agrees to that arrangement and ends up wifing her up, you're getting a raw deal. In the same way that, for example, how would y'all feel if, to try to maybe present a scenario where you can perhaps understand the male perspective. Imagine you were really interested in the guy. He claims he was really interested in you, and he's kind of saying he wants to take things slow, and he doesn't want to ever take you out to like a nice fancy dinner. He never wants to take you on trips. And he's saying XYZ, here are the reasons why, whatever. And then you find out that the previous 4 girls who he's had like really casual, non-committal, sexual, casual relationships with, and he tells you he never cared about any of those girls. He took all those girls he claims he doesn't care about. He took them to the fancy dinner. He took them on the trips. But with you, the girl that he wants to, oh my God, you're my future wife. No. You have to wait until marriage to get that. Doesn't that seem?
That's a good analogy. Shout out to Brian. And look at their faces. Look at their faces. Look at all their faces. Because when a man says, hey, listen, now usually men don't, now men say it on social media, but very few men meet women and they say, you know what? In the past, women used to use me for free food dinner dates. Now, I'm just going to take you on a drinks date or maybe coffee date, walk in the park. So until I make sure that you deserve a dinner date. Men don't really usually say that. Men just change. Men adapt to what women are doing or to their experiences. So if a man has been used for free food dinner dates in the past on first dates, and then he takes a woman on a date, she never calls him back. He takes another woman on a date, she never calls him back. You know what men do? Men decide that, you know what, going forward, if I'm going to go on a date with a woman, I'm doing drinks, I'm doing coffee, we're going to walk in the park. If you don't like it, that's fine. And what do usually women say? Women are like, oh, you're just broke. I'm never doing a coffee date. I deserve a $500 dinner first date. But men are saying, have been used before. So women don't like when men adopt. But women want men to accept them coming from the streets, giving up on the first night for a couple guys. And then they want it's usually the nice guy. They will make Boogie wait. They will make me wait 3 months. And they still expect me to pay for the dinner dates and everything we do together as a wait. But do you think they're ever going to make Chris Brown wait? Do you think they're ever going to make Drake wait? Do you think they're ever going to make LeBron James wait? No, never. So they pick and choose who they make wait. Do you think if this woman met Chris Brown or whichever, I don't know, Morgan Wallen, the country singer, if she met that guy that she really likes, a celebrity, and he says, let's go to a coffee date, and then she meets me, Boogie, and I say, let's go on a coffee date, who do you think she's going to say yes to? It's going to be the celebrity, not me.
Backwards.
I hear that, but I also think you're kind of like, if you're just using the situation of like a man and a woman, like if you're that hard pressed about what the man did with his money before you with other women, you probably shouldn't be in a relationship. Like you might be a little stuck up, a bit of a gold digger. Like who cares? It's individual. Every relationship is different, and we learn and we grow in different relationships. So I do see your point, and I think that's valid, but I also see hers, and I think it's like just as valid.
And I think,
you know what I'm saying, Brian?
I think part of it,
you seem sick of me.
No,
I think,
I'm not sick.
I think part of it too can be that, okay, is this a girl who, like you said, the night before just got a train ran on her, and then she meets a guy she likes, so she's like, I'm going to make him wait. Or is this somebody who is going, I've made mistakes in my past for the past several years. I have not been that person, and I'm not engaging in that behavior anymore.
I'm using that more extreme scenario to try to like break through to try to make sense of how it could be
unfair treatment.
How the guy could feel slighted by this sort of situation. Now, in this case, you're going to find a guy who, I mean, I'd recommend you disclose this early on to save your own time, but also to save the guy's time, but primarily to save your time. But I mean,
I won't be dating anybody who doesn't want to wait.
Okay. I mean, just say that.
Yeah, but that's the issue. Did you hear what she just said? I won't be dating anyone who doesn't want to wait. But if a man says, I won't be dating any woman who expects food on the first date, she's going to call you broke. They're going to call you sassy. They're going to say you just, if you can't afford a woman, just say that. They're going to say you hate women. It's like they are allowed to have their standards, and they expect a man to go on with their standards. That's the only issue I think even Brian is talking about, and that's the issue most men have. Men are saying, okay, you've had, you're fine, your whole phase, you have slept with Chad and Pookie and Rere, and sometimes even have a few babies with them. Okay, fine. But I don't have to accept it. The same way you have preferences and standards for me, men have standards. Now, the only issue is they don't want men to actually vocalize and speak up their standards. But they want the man to be forced to accept their standards. And they want the man to look at them like the Virgin Mary. And men are saying no.
Up front, and if the guy accepts it, he accepts it.
I think it's a raw deal for both sexes at this point in dating, because that's a scenario that I'm sure a lot of men have encountered, and women changing from that scenario is something that's probably happening more often than not, probably nowadays. So I think it's hard for both sides. Also, again, once you come to that realization, then you switch your mindset and you're looking for different people. Maybe you have a list of non-negotiables now that you didn't have before, and that shrinks your dating pool. Who knows?
Yeah, you can always change. Like myself, I'm a great example. Like, I'm not shy. I own my mistakes. Like you could see a picture of me naked on the internet. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I got accepted by a conservative Arabic Christian family who came from Iraq. So and I look like this. So if they accepted me, you can do it.
Yep.
But you got to be genuine in your in your intentions, though. You can't be have a train ran on you and then the next day be like, I'm holy. You have to put some work in, and I put years of work in.
What work did you put in? Did you guys hear what she just said? I should be accepted. No one needs to accept shit. The same way you're not going to accept me if I'm broke. The same way you're not going to accept me if I say, let me take you on a coffee date. The same way you're not going to accept me if I'm 5'6", right? The same way you're not going to accept me when I'm bald. The same way you're not going to accept me because, I don't know, I don't have a Maserati. The same way you're not going to accept me because, I don't know, for whatever reason, whatever standards women have these days for men, for the same reason you won't accept me, a man shouldn't have to accept you because you have naked photos on your Instagram or on social media. Now, granted, are there men who are going to accept it? Yes. And she says she got one. But we have to dig deeper. What type of man is that? Who settled for that? It's bragging rights. And obviously, such men, it's not like she really likes him. She just got the first man who could accept it. She knows most men are not going to accept it. But because she found a guy who accepts it, she thinks and believes every man should. And it's like, no.
It's a self-accountability thing too. Do you really want to make that change for your next partner?
Yeah.
For how about this? I'll give you guys an anecdote from my own life. This was, I think, a couple years ago. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. Or wait, 3, 4, or 5 years ago, something like that. Don't remember the exact timeline. I was on this date with this girl, and it was third, fourth date, and she wasn't wanting to go to have sex. And we were kissing, making out, whatever, but she didn't want to go further. And so, hey, totally respect that. You say, okay, cool, we can stop. In fact, if a girl's doesn't want to go further, I don't even want to make out anymore. I'm just nah, I'm good. Anyway, it's not sure why I shared that.
Okay, Brian.
No, it's I'm not gonna fucking just.
That's fair. Most guys don't want to go forward. Most guys, because men are very one-dimensional when it comes to sex. A man believes if he can make out with a woman, he wants to get all the way. But some women are willing to just kind of, I don't know, if tease you, kiss you, let them touch you. You can even take off the top. As soon as you touch the pants, it'll be you're not going anywhere. So at that point, most guys lose interest.
Make out with you for 30 minutes. Nah, I'll give you a peck on the lips, but that's it. When you're ready for sex, then we can do some more shit. But so she told me, she was like, no, but I kind of want to wait, da da da. I was like, okay. But then she told me that she had previously a month, no, it was 2 or 3 months earlier, she had a friends with benefits, and I asked her, well, how long did you wait with him? She was like, well, I fucked him right away. And I was like, from my perspective, I'm like, she doesn't have an actual issue or some sort of virtue about waiting. It was just, she was like, oh, well, I'm categorizing Brian as a long-term potential.
Right.
But I'm like, you done fucked another dude.
Yeah, that's
really quick.
I feel the unfairness on that.
And so
I can relate to that.
I'm just, and then
Because it's like, what did he have that I don't have?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes you compare. It
Why
like
do I
forces
have
you. You're
to
not just
and he
comparing
didn't?
naturally. They like make you, like put you in
Yeah.
that headspace. Yeah, I get it.
and I've encountered that before. And look, I'm not.
And that's why they say nice guys finish last. Because the nice guy is like, so I'm supposed to do all these things for you, take you on dates, buy you flowers, I don't know, trips. Some guys even take women on trips and they sleep in separate separate hotel rooms. I kid you not, guys, this happens all the time. Obviously, most men don't speak up on it, but it happens all the time. A man will pay for a trip for a woman. They will go on a trip, and once they get to the trip, the woman will be like, "Did you get me my own room?" It's like, I thought we are both together. We're gonna be in the same room, and she's like, "No, I need my own room." And then it's like it's too late now because you brought her. Now you gotta take her back. Some guys are cutthroat. They will get the return ticket right away. Some guys are very scared, so they will just go all the way through a trip, sleeping in separate rooms, right? But it's like most guys look at the scenario literally Brian just put there, and all these women know. You can see that look on their faces. They have done this before. They have the friends with benefits. They have the guys they fuck quick. They give it up so quick. They have guys who don't even need to take them on dates. But for you, the good guy, the perfect guy, no, you pay for all my dates and then make you wait 90 days. Guys are like, it's not fair. So what do some guys do? Like I said, no expensive dinner dates on the first couple dates until she realizes she really is into him. If not, some guys are just not dating at all.
If I meet a girl, we don't have to have sex right away. But if like I'd at least, if you gave a guy different treatment, and then I don't know.
Maybe it's like a male ego thing too, because then you're comparing at that point.
Yeah. Well, men are
You
taught
have
to
to
they compete
compare.
with each other a lot.
Right. So it's like, what did he have that I don't have?
I
Then
want to
you're
touch on something that was talked about earlier with women with high body counts.
Just one sec. I'll let you get to it. I gotta let the chat come through.
Anyway, man, shout out to Brian. This was a good topic. So many guys go through this. Some of you guys watching me, you've been through this. Some of you guys don't even think about it. Obviously, very few guys can tell a woman, hey, did you make the last guy wait? Most women are going to lie, guys. So don't even waste your time trying to ask a woman you're trying to take on a date, why are you making me wait? Did you make the last guy wait? They're never going to say the truth. They're probably going to tell you they've been celibate for 2,000 years anyway. They've been celibate since before Jesus was born. That's what you're gonna hear. So don't even waste your time trying to rationalize. You as a man, do what you can do in terms of don't spend too much money on first dates. If she's gonna, shame you, call you broke, cancel the date because it's not a dinner date, then you dodge the bullet. At the end of the day, as a man, just have some self-worth, right? At the end of the day, women don't want to feel like you don't care about them. So in terms of dates and things like that, and men don't want to feel used. At the end of the day, we just have to find a common ground. But link down below to whatever podcast. All right, next we're gonna go to, shout out to Ask a Brother with Jeff St. James. Since he's known as the Black Therapist, I've done videos on him. He has been in my comments, so shout out to the brother. Ever since he went viral, the first time I did a reaction to his video from Lapif, he had way more subscribers than him. I think he had like 3,000 or something like that. Now he's at almost 15,000 subscribers, man. That's what happens when you speak the truth and people believe in it and people support you. So shout out to the brother. I decided to just review and go through this video he just posted. So let's go through it.
Never hear me say I don't need a man. And you'll never hear me say that I can do this without it. I know that I cannot, but I have to. This is what I'm saying. I need one, but I have to do it without because they're just not here.
Yeah. So question for you real quick. So when you say I'm trying to choose the right man, right? She's trying to choose the right man. I'm trying to make the right decision. And I'm like, cool. My view is that when we've been doing this for so long and we're kind of, sorry, Bo, what I was kind of alluding to was when you're making statements, and this is how normalized it is, how we don't even realize some of the ways in which we're describing this stuff, how it can be a part of certain systems. Like sometimes we'll espouse things and it actually sounds kind of Marxist in nature. Sometimes it sounds kind of socialist in nature. It's the same thing when it comes to feminism. If the patriarchy was one in which you wouldn't have been making all of these moves and decisions on your own by default when it came to these men anyway. So in order for you to arbitrarily go from man to man to man to date and figure out sexually, emotionally, psychologically, marriage, that sexual liberation, that is feminist. So for you to, you're so far down in the weeds that it's almost like it's like somebody who was born only seeing black and white and trying to describe to them what color looks like.
That's facts. And because you can think about cultures that still do arranged marriages. I think in India they still do that. But for the most of the Western hemisphere, oh my God, I can't even speak. Most of the Western countries, Western cultures, the women now make their own decisions in terms of who they want to marry, who they want to date. So in other words, the parents, especially the dad, is never involved when the women are picking, when they're choosing their husbands or their boyfriends, right? Fathers they never know. Fathers would be so great in helping, because men know what other men are all about. That's why men are usually supposed to ask for the father's approval, blessing for the daughter. But most women these days make their own choices. Remember, my body, my choice. But at the end of the day, the woman will have 20 different men. On the low end, I'm talking about from 18 all the way from 45. But she will still blame men for the choices. Because remember, they don't approach, the men approach them. But she will still blame men for the choices she makes in men.
You're describing about the after effects of what's not working and what you've tried and why your mom had to teach you certain things. What I'm suggesting is it's not the issue about the job. It's not every decision that you made was a product of the sexual liberation movement. You got to pick your spouse. You got to pick who you could have sex with. You could decide if you wanted to get divorced. What I'm saying is a patriarchal, I'm not even saying patriarchy is fine.
Look at her face.
What I'm saying
Guys,
is,
wait, I know James is cooking, but look at her face. She's acting like as if he's lying. Everything he just said, that's exactly what they do. They pick and make choices for everything they do when it comes to partners.
The opposite of what you did would have been a father figure, an uncle, a father, a grandfather. They would have been the buffer from you making some of the decisions that you made, that you felt that you made out of emotion, out of feelings.
Why is she saying no?
Didn't work out.
No, they taught me the same thing.
So,
no, they did.
As an example, unless you think how old are you, Bo?
I'm 44.
Okay. Unless you think that your mate selection option choices is incredible from when you started dating till 44. There was supposed to be a buffering factor so that you're not 44 years old still having this conversation.
That's usually the dad.
The issue is not that you're stupid. The issue is not that you're immature. The issue is all these ancient civilizations that did it a different way. We in the modern world think we're smarter than them. Maybe there was there was something there that they had in place to prevent this thing from happening. And I'll give you an example. When I talk to women about this whole things not working out, in and out of relationships, lengthy periods where they're just not having success. And when I'm finding out what's the reason for why you're leaving, this guy doesn't communicate, this guy cheated, this guy this guy that. And I ask them a simple question. If you had to choose between one man that you gave 20 chances to or 20 men that you give one chance to, which would you choose? your lifestyle, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying women's lifestyles that are single that are off and on and not successful long term for 10, 15, 20 years, is that they're choosing the option B. They keep giving these chances to men that were supposed to be vetted by somebody else other than your emotions.
Ooh.
That's facts. Because even back in high school, you guys remember, it was so hard to date girls who had fathers in the house. Because you know at some point, the girl is going to take you home to their house. The girl is going to have to introduce you to the fathers who are strict, the fathers who are really, raising their girls right, their daughters right. If you were dating one of those girls, you better believe she's going to have to take you to meet the father. You know why most guys were scared of that? Because they knew the father would see through their bullshit. If he's a real stand-up guy, the father would notice. If he was a guy who ain't shit, the father would still notice, and the father would tell the daughter, stay away from that type of guy. But guess what happened? Because these women grow up with single moms with no fathers, and they see the mom moving from man to man to man to man, and to them it's okay. Guess what the daughter's going to do? The daughters are going to do the same thing once they grow up. They are not going to learn to be with just one man. So what they're going to do, they're going to live like exactly what the single moms were doing, their mothers were doing, moving from man to man. Because the kids see these things happening. You feel me? Because the kid is going to grow up 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And the kid is thinking, how come my mother doesn't have one steady guy? As the kid grows, the kid sees the mother switching men and men and men and men, in and out, in and out. Guess what the kid is going to do? The kid is going to do exactly what the mother was doing, especially the daughter. You feel me? So Jeff is right.
That is feminism. You were not designed to go through 20 men, through 22 decades of trying to figure it out on your own. And now you have to do survivability politics. The job is the job. That's dope.
Look at her. She doesn't like it.
You're established. You're independent. You got a lot of dope things going on. The process of what you were doing between dating, sex, marriage, situationships, all that trauma and disappointment, somebody was supposed to stop that shit.
The dad, the father. Look at her face.
And you were never designed to do this.
Facts.
So when I say the level of depth of how much we've been saturated with this shit is why our community is what it is now.
Look at her face. She doesn't like it. I mean, obviously this one doesn't like it either, but look at her face, the disgust. Just because the man is cooking. I mean, for the first time, I'll give Sean some credit, because Sean is always like trying to debate and argue every point. But Sean seems like, and Ty too. No, Ty looks good. Sean seems like the only one who's receptive. But look at the face, man. No wonder she's 44 and single. Can you imagine coming home to such a face? Like every time you're trying to explain something to her that makes sense, she's going to look at you like you're dumb. The disrespect.
So when the black man is telling you,
look,
I'm not saying like you got to listen to me. What I'm saying is a black brother is trying to tell you there is a ideology that influenced and put us in the position that they convinced a generation of women that sexual liberation was a benefit to them and not men. Okay? Men who got the options love y'all sexual liberation. More power to you.
Facts.
Love it. And hold on. And I ain't got to meet your father.
What?
And some of y'all gonna give me kids and I ain't even got to meet your family.
I don't even got
I love this feminism. Give me more of that.
Facts.
Feminism has so what I'm saying is a lot of the decisions that you think were just yours was really about the environment and time period that you were born into, that some of this stuff is normalized. OnlyFans ain't normalized. Having double-digit men over a 20-year time period ain't normalized.
She doesn't like it. Man, shout out to Jeff. Round of applause. Oh my God. Oh my God. But did you see her face? Did you see the facial expressions? The disgust. Because it's like, if a brother who's well articulate, because they usually talk about, oh, your tone. I believe I speak with a very calm, soft. I believe I'm soft spoken, but I believe Jeff does such a better job than me when explaining these issues, right? Obviously, he's psychologist, so maybe that's also a good thing, right? But even with the way he speaks, because they demonize Kevin Samuels for being maybe loud or rude, whatever. But the way he's speaking, look at the disgust in her face. That tells you she didn't grow up with a father. That tells you she has never listened. She believes listening to a black man is like the worst thing a woman can do. Like the feminism runs deep in the blood, like the disgust. At least Sean, some of you guys have watched these videos that are reactive from Lapeef. Shout out to Lapeef. At least Sean, for the first time, and I can't believe I'm saying this, for the first time, Sean was the one who was receptive to the message. But this woman, the disgust she has for the brother just speaking and trying to explain why she's in the position she's in, she's looking at it like she wants to even blame him. So she's saying she's independent because there's no man, but now she also wants to blame the man. It's like, what about you look in the mirror and think about all the types of choices you've made from when you're 18 to the time you're 44? Man, shout out to St. James. Link down below to St. James. Link down below to Lapeef. He was cooking. Bravo, man. Bravo. All right, next we're gonna go all the way to Ashley. You guys have been liking these videos. Ashley, I call her the queen of teaching women on how to get rich men, aka sugar daddies. But there's always interesting stories, always a lot to learn when these women call into our show. So shout out to Ashley and link down below to our channel. So without further ado, let's go.
Okay. All right. What brings you up, doll?
Yeah, so I've been watching your TikToks for a while now. You know how you teach the ladies how to put themselves first, how they should look. I'm 25, and I'm from Rwanda, East Africa, and I am a worker. I don't want to like say it out loud, like that way kind of thing and all kind of thing. So I've never dated, or I've never really been in love or something like that. Like I've never like tried to look good. I like to look good. I take care of myself. Like right now, look at me because it's in the morning. I just woke up.
No, you still look beautiful though.
Thank you. And being in that world, it has given me like a financial independency, but it's also became a problem into finding love because people, especially men from my country, they definitely do not take me serious. All African men in general, black men in general, they don't take me serious, or they just want me for my body and everything. So I never really knew how it is to be in a relationship, or how I should carry myself in order to get the right person. So recently I got in kind of like talking relationship with a man who is American. He's Caucasian, and he's willing to take me as I am. He understands me, and they understand that what I'm doing is for financial independence, and I am not willing to stop unless I'm being offered something better. And he's like, no problem, I accept you as you are. Probably there's some things you have to stop, but I'm not going to ask you to stop, doing what you do.
So wait.
Translation: I'm not willing to stop working until you pay all my bills. Last time I checked, you're strong and independent, don't need no man. So why should I have to pay all your bills again? But he's a white man, so maybe he has the money and is willing to pay all her bills. But let's go. But she's a good-looking African lady.
So I don't get it. So he wants to be with you. He knows you do seg work, right? He knows you do that, but he wouldn't want you to stop doing that. He's not willing to finance your life.
He's willing to help me out. He's not like super rich or anything, but he's okay financially, as he says. I have not met him in person, but he's willing to come and meet me in my country. We have not spoke about either should I stop, and he's willing to take the part that I'm doing right now in terms of financial support. And he's older than me. He's 47 and I'm 25. But he's like, I'm not gonna ask you to stop unless you want to stop. But he has not told me, okay, if you stop, then I'm gonna be taking care of you financially. But he said he wants to marry me. He wants to propose to me. He's telling all this.
But that doesn't make sense. If let me say this, Alex, if he wants to marry you, then he wouldn't want you to continue in that lifestyle. he wouldn't want you to continue on, you know, giving yourself away. And where is he? Is he in America?
Yes, he's in America.
So he's in America. He's 47. He's coming to your country, right? You're in the continent of Africa, right?
That's where I'm from, but currently I'm in Asia, but I'm not there right now. I'm in Asia right now.
Okay, you're in Asia. So he wants to come to Asia and marry you. And do you know?
Meet me first.
Meet you first. I don't know. That sounds like game, babes. That sounds like game.
You know what's funny? So she's a good-looking Rwandese African lady, right? She's talking about she's a sex worker. I mean, at least that's what she said, and that's what the title says. She's hung up on a white man because he claims he has money and is willing to pay all her bills. But I can guarantee you back home, now obviously very few African men are going to want to deal with her, especially if they find out she's a sex worker. Go figure. Very few. So I see why she would be talking to a white man. I guess maybe he's more, what do you want to call it, liberal, more fluid, he will be understanding. So very few African men are going to want to deal with her, even if she's beautiful, even if she has a banging body. That's what most Rwandese women do have. They have a good body. But my point is, she has plenty of good men in Africa who probably want her because she's a good looking, nice chocolate sister. But because they don't have the money to pay all her bills, to replace her sex work, she's willing to give a white man she has never met, because she's talking about a man she has never met in person, rather than deal with men she has a chance of meeting. Crazy.
I don't know too. So I've never really done enough.
Everyone look, the poll says no, a setup. They're saying a setup. Oh, man. And what state in America is he from?
Now he's in Ohio, but he's from Atlanta. He's from Atlanta.
He's from Atlanta, but lives in Ohio. He's from Ohio.
No. He currently is in Ohio, but he's from Atlanta. Yeah.
Something is not clean in the milk. I don't know. I just don't know. They're saying a passport bro. Yeah, I think he is a passport bro. And I think
the issue is he hasn't started sending her money or lots of money. Because if he was, maybe he's sending her money, because if he was really sending her money, because for most women, for them to consider you as serious or marriage material or boyfriend material or as a good man, you gotta be sending them that cash. You gotta put your money where your mouth is. So it sounds like he's not really sending her money like that. Because if he was sending her thousands and thousands of dollars, she wouldn't have to come to call into a dating show to ask Ashley what she should do about it or if he's serious. The only way he would show he's serious if he was really spending money, and it doesn't seem like he's a sucker. So that means he's not really sending her money like that. Maybe he sends her hundreds here, $100 here and there, but it doesn't seem like he's really spoiling her. He wants to meet her fast, clap them African chicks, and maybe go from there. He's smart. He sounds like if he's a passport brother, then he's smart.
He's selling you a dream. And, you know, let me ask you this now, because this is your line of work, right? You said you're open about what you do. So if he's talking to you, I'm assuming he's not talking to you just to talk to you. He's making sure you're okay. He's sending you money.
See, I knew it. Told you.
Currently, and he will actually.
Oh my God! Put my flowers down in the comments. Boogie is good. I told you so. If he was sending her money, she wouldn't have to call into a dating show. Because like I told you, women believe a man is serious if he's spending money. That's why women want men who are taking them on expensive first dinner dates, because to them, that's a man being serious. When you're willing to just spend money, even if you're getting nothing in return. A woman will pick a man who's willing to take her on an expensive dinner date, first dinner date, who's not a good guy, over a good guy who wants to take her on a coffee date. I'll say it one more time for the people in the back. In 2025, most women will pick a guy willing to spend so much money on them on the first dinner date, first date, even if he's not a good guy, over a good guy who's offering a coffee date, because money speaks, man. Money moves mountains to them. I knew it. This guy is not sending her money.
Then he told me that he's happy that I'm not as other girls that I haven't asked him for money. I'm like,
Oh,
I haven't asked him.
No, bye. Get it? No. And you should know better. You're literally, this is your line of work. How you getting finesse when this is your line of work?
I've done that, but I do it not like trying to. I'm like, we were not like trying to pretend to one another that, oh, we're in a relationship. No, everything is transactional. So you know what I want, and you know what you want, and it's transactional. But this time,
he ain't got it, babe. If he's already telling you he's happy, you're not asking. Imagine if you're in a relationship or married. No, he's gonna be looking for you to take care of him. No.
Yeah,
it's a no.
Confused.
No. If you just want a pen pal or someone you talk to in America to kill some time every so often, go for it. You're grown. But no. He's not even paying a phone bill, the long distance. What's that you guys are on the phone? He's not paying that.
No, we'll be talking on.
And you a sex worker, Lexi. What's going on? Wait.
Can you? Told you guys, this is the new dating times, unfortunately. I don't know if you guys caught that. Actually, I personally shouldn't be surprised because I react to her content. She teaches women how to get money from men. She teaches women how to get rich men. She teaches women how to get sugar daddies. So personally, I'm not surprised. But there's something you guys didn't catch. She just told this lady, how is he talking to you and not even sending you money to pay for your phone bill? This is where dating is. Like literally everything is about money. So for you guys looking, oh my God, I'm looking for love. I can't wait to find love. I can't wait to find true love. Replace true love with, I can't wait to find a woman who doesn't need lots of money. Because even the woman who doesn't need lots of money needs some money. So Ashley literally just said he should be at least paying your phone bill. This is a man she has never met. This is a man she's not in a relationship with. This is a man, they're just talking, getting to know each other, but he should pay you to get to know you. Dating is crazy.
Wait. No. Girl.
We've been talking for like only 2 weeks now. It hasn't been long. So on my side, I don't pay for anything. Like there's no like phone bill or anything, because like over here you can just buy a SIM card and you can use it for like a whole month without any extra cost.
That's not the point. That's not the point. No.
I see by the comments. Yeah. But the thing now about this is that when it comes to my own men, African men or black men in general, they don't take me serious, or they don't see the potential in me, except...
Yeah, because you're a sex worker. Like, which African man is going to introduce you to their family members and say, hey, listen, meet my wife to be, and then they're asking, what does she do? Oh, yeah, she lets other guys clap cheeks and they give her couple $100. Like, which African man? Like, you're going to have to find an African man in America. Even then, it's going to be tough, especially if he was born in Africa and raised in Africa. Like, which African man is going to accept that? Come on now.
Just what I do. And I feel like Caucasians have always been more open. Like, I've never had a relationship with one, but maybe a trick kind of relationship, yes, where they exactly know what I do. They told me, they say I should do what I want. They're not really, like, they're not going to force me to stop. But of course, some have supported me and gave me what I wanted. And it's never been my man. It has never been black men, and I never really understood why.
Yeah, you have to stop telling them. That's what the chat is saying too. You got to stop telling. I guess if you want to be with that guy, but what I think I'm hearing is the clients you're getting, you're trying to be in relationships with them. That's what I'm hearing you say, because you said no, they don't want to be with me. They don't take me serious. Mm-hmm. So if they're sleeping with you for that reason, right, for your service or whatnot, then yeah, that's what they're there for. They're not. I guess every so often, I'm not saying it can't happen. It's not possible that a guy doesn't fall in love or likes, the girl in that lifestyle. But yeah, it sounds like you're trying to turn your clients out to be like, okay, be with me. That's what I'm hearing. Some of them. I'm not saying all of them.
Yeah. No, forward of collection, I don't meet people in person. This is online work. The OF thing, not in person kind of work. No.
Oh, okay. So this is all online.
This is online, only online, not in person type of work. And the man, this one particularly, he knows exactly what I do because he actually sent me a DM. We met on Instagram, so he already has been following my Instagram for long. So he's been seeing the links and everything, so he understands what I do. But the other men I'm talking about are people I meet in real life. Like I work at a cafe or the restaurant, and I meet a man. I don't really hide it. Most of the time, I will tell you straight up, I'm into this industry. I'm doing the OF kind of thing, but I don't meet in person. I don't meet anybody in person. This is online.
So you're meeting the man on the first day, and you're telling him what it is that you do. That's what you're doing. No,
she should.
I want to know about it.
No.
Eventually, they will find out.
No. If you're working in a cafe and restaurant, why are you being so upfront about everything? You don't know these men. They could be lying to you about having a wife, 2 kids, 3 side chicks, a girlfriend at home. Damn. You don't know.
Guys, we are cooked. So it's like from this point forward, you may as well assume every woman you're going to date with has an OnlyFans. So Ashley is teaching women that if they do sex work, they shouldn't tell you guys if they're going to date with you. Because they're hoping by the time you find out that she's a sex worker, maybe she gave you some punani, you get to clap the cheeks, because some of you guys really get pussy whipped. You get to like the punani so much that, because some guys, once they find out, it's almost the same way when women don't tell guys they got kids, because they know the moment they tell you they're a single mom, most of you guys will shy away. But if they let you clap cheeks, they let you spend time with them, you develop feelings, you fall for them. By the time they tell you they're a single mom, by the time they tell you they do sex work, some of you guys are really too deep down into your feelings. You've invested so much money. Some of you guys don't want to let go. And especially if the chick is really good looking, most of you guys will just be like, you know what? It's not such a big deal. I mean, other men get to see you naked and pay for it. It's not such a big deal. I mean, you got 5 kids from 5 guys. It's not such a big deal. That's because some of you guys already got the taste of the punani. You know, they gave you that good. So it's like, so I see why she's saying women shouldn't disclose if they do sex work on the first date. The same way women hide the fact that they're single moms on the first date, because some of you guys will run away. But if they wait and you clap cheeks, then most of you guys will stay.
No, you just supposed to be step 1. What's your favorite color? Okay, what are you looking for in a person? We're talking about basic things right now. Where do you work? In the cafe that you met me in. That's where I work.
All right, darling. Thank you for that, Ivaz. I think I'll be doing that. It's just that sometimes I'm just too honest. I'll be telling them as it is because I'm like, I don't have nothing to hide and everything. So I'm straight up.
No.
It's clear, and the person gets to find out without finding out from me. Okay, so I should be.
Don't meet up with that man. Don't meet up with that man from Ohio. Absolutely not.
Okay.
So guys, anyway, shout out to Ashley, but I hope you guys learned something from this. The ladies want you to spend money just to get to know them. Apparently their time is very expensive, so they're not just going to talk to you on the phone without you sending them some cash apps. Number 2, they have a new strategy. If they're single moms, if they're sex workers, they will never tell you, especially on a first date. They'll let you clap cheeks, get invested, fall in love, and then they can tell you, and by that time you can't run away, because most of you guys are really like suckers for love and shit like that. But what do you guys think? Link down below. All right, next we're gonna go all the way to Lapif. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're gonna be talking about the T app. You guys know the T app. The T app is basically the new app that I don't know if it really just came out. Maybe it's been around for some time, but it's basically an app just for women, where women share information about men they've slept with, men who are cheating, men, really gossip about men, make up weird information, defamations. Probably defamation lawsuits will be coming out soon. But I also heard it was recently hacked, and they exposed the women who are on there. So without further ado, let's go.
To you, Laisha. And Mm. So the thing is that you may be correct, because that's not the first like group that I seen pop up with this original intent was for that, right? The problem is, and I think this comes down to the developers and the people who are moderators and administrators over these pages and these apps. The moment you let the riffraff in, the whole entire point of the app goes out the window, which wind up leading people to look at it the same way that real dope would look at it. Is that once you start letting everybody come in, and it becomes the T app and not the app where women can actually vet men and potentially understand, like, hey, before I get into this situation, is the abuse? It becomes, hey, sis, is this your man? Now everybody looks at the app differently because now it done lost its original purpose, which was to actually protect women. Now it's just a bunch of people up in there gossiping about men, and you know what I mean? It's basically smut. It's not to protect, it's all smut. So it kind of hurts. Like when these people come out with these apps, they should moderate them to protect against that type of stuff. And they shouldn't allow people to come in the app and just bring smut to the app, because it loses its original intent, that which was to protect the women who were actually using the app for its intended purpose.
Also, the name T, like that already threw it off. If it was to protect women, they should have had the authority, you know, the cops or whoever they do the background checks with. That should have been part of the app, so you can actually really look up the person.
It
properly.
is.
Okay, so it has that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can
good.
do
All right,
actual
cool.
background checks on anybody that you want to run their name on. That like you can do background checks. You can ask for like evidence. Like for instance, if somebody says, oh, you know, I that's also my boyfriend. And a girl can be like, well, nah, I've been dating him for 6 months. Okay, prove it. Now she can respond with posting a picture of him and her together.
Yeah, but she could be lying. That literally could have been 3 years ago when they were dating. Maybe she just doesn't want him to move on, to find, because very few women are happy when the exes move on to something better. You know, very few exes are happy when their man finds a new woman when they didn't expect him to find a new, better looking woman. So clearly there is no way to find out is what this woman is saying about this man true. All they do is gossip. All they do is make up shit about men, and men are not there to defend themselves, because obviously it's an app only for men, for women. Some men apparently have tried to get into it, but you can't really get into it. So at the end of the day, all women can do is talk trash about men, defame them, you know, assassinate their character, and men can't defend themselves. But it's like I heard men, you know, made an app for themselves and to a shut down. So the double standards again. You know, I even heard on Tinder they're gonna make something where women, I think, can select men based on their height, and then men are like, okay, hey Tinder, what about you give us an option of selecting women based on weight? And Tinder said no. It's like they're picking and choosing, and it's like, why would men still date in these times? Why would you put yourself through this? This is literally, I don't know, this is emotional abuse, this is character assassination, this is, you know, waste of your money, to be honest, dating in 2025.
And then another one, and then another one. Okay, now this woman has proof. She's not just is spewing libel and slander.
How's that proof?
So now you know that your man is cheating on you. You know that he's stepping out. Like,
so it's just basically like you can investigate and find information on a guy, but then you could also have private chat where you're discussing information about the guy, which is,
well, that part, it doesn't have to be, I mean, it's not like that's private. It's like literally you're posting a picture and you're like I've so one girl said like, oh, he's cute and I'm interested in him and he's saying he's not seeing anyone else. Can you guys confirm that like he's not seeing anyone else? And if it just so happens that he gets red flags and then that girl responds with, oh, well, I am seeing him. Okay, can you prove that to me? and then she posts a picture of them. Like it's the essential. It is the same setup as you post something on Facebook, and then there are a bunch of comments.
Question: Do you how would you feel? Do you think it's okay to do that? Do you think it's okay for a woman to go inside an app and be like, "Hey, I'm dating this guy. I want to know if anybody else is dating him."
Gonna say yes.
Nobody else is. You think that's okay?
Yeah.
So Anisha is gonna say yes because it benefits her. Imagine, because like I said, they tried to make an app for men and it was shut down. You know why? Because it doesn't benefit them. It doesn't expose them. You feel me? Because I'm telling you, if there was an app for men, because I even heard there's a Facebook page for women doing the same shit where they try to expose men, they make up stories because there is no way to prove. You know, because women will say anything about you if they don't like you anymore, or if you even if you refuse to take them on an expensive dinner date, or even if you're fighting to see your son, you know what, they will say anything so that other women can hate you or to play victim.
You're not.
Okay, so my question is, what if you found out that the man that you're talking to posted your photo inside of an app and he said, "Yo, anybody dealing with her? She told me she ain't dealing with nobody." How would you genuinely feel?
I would feel like he felt the need to like do more research, do more vetting, make sure he was using his discernment correctly. Because I will also say, now I'm not, when I'm saying this, I'm speaking directly to my city again, right? The men in my city, when they found out about this app, they then made an Instagram page, right? Mm-hmm. And that was their get back, because a lot of them felt like, oh, this will be my ha moment. We're going to get back at y'all. Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So they started doing that. They started doing like posting pictures of the girls, like saying, captioning it, "Oh, I like this little fine shit. Anybody fucking with her?"
Yeah. Yeah. I would argue that most women would probably stop talking to that man after if they found that out.
They didn't.
I'm just saying, I would argue that most women, that would be a turn off for most women.
They didn't. Like most of the time what it turned into was the same way that y'all have a response, the response that y'all are giving to the women is the response that the men gave to the men, which is, that's some fine shit. You better hide that. Why the hell would you post it? Now I'm finna go try and find her.
Well,
yeah, but women don't do that. No woman post some trash about me and then the next woman says, "Oh yeah, he's such a trashy man, I want him." Maybe the ones who are like really toxic, but if my character has been assassinated by some random woman I don't even know, and other women piling that I've never met, no other woman is just gonna be like, "Yeah, that's the man of my dreams."
She's not a hoe, but if she's a hoe, they probably gonna run down the "Oh yeah, I just had her last week. Oh yeah, in the car. Yeah, we was in a movie theater. I got her."
I think if they're a hoe, they're gonna get more action.
I don't think that this is any different than like everybody on here has their generation of this same thing. Whether that's you pulling up Shorty's picture, going to your homeboys and being like, "Oh, I like her. This who I think this who I might be fucking with." Whether it was word of mouth, whether it was MySpace, whether it was Facebook, whether it was Instagram, we've all had our app, our talk, it just depends on the generation. Now all of a sudden that it's turned into a literal app outside of making it a Instagram page or a Facebook page. I don't see it as any different.
It's an issue because men are not there to defend themselves. It's an issue because you cannot justify and verify every single thing people are saying about men. Now, you as a feminist, I could see how that makes you happy because any man's downfall is a celebration and a party time for you. But if that was the case, if you really want to be fair as a feminist, then why was the men's only app shut down? And that's all men are saying. It's like, if you're going to make all these things about men, make up stories that men can't be there to defend themselves, men should be allowed to make an app about women and say whatever they want to say, but you're not going to let that happen. But anyway, what do you guys think about that? T-app, shout out to Lapif, link down below. You guys better be careful, man. It's tough out here dating. All right, next, we're going to go all the way to Sean Kingston and the mom. And the reason I want to go through this video is to just show you guys the importance of really having a father in the house, because Sean Kingston's mom is going to jail for 5 years for helping Sean Kingston, her son, commit a crime. Let's go.
Right now, it was sentencing day for the mother of Sean Kingston, who was tied to some fraud cases here by her famous son. Local 10's Sanella Sabovic is joining us live from the courthouse in Fort Lauderdale with what was handed down. Sanella.
Well, Christy, a federal judge sentenced Kingston's mother, Janice Turner, to 60 months in federal prison. And before that sentence was handed down, she did address the court with tears in her eyes, saying that she was sorry and she asked the judge for mercy for her and her son. It's sentencing day for singer Sean Kingston's mother, Janice Turner. Federal Judge David Leibowitz ordered that she spends the next 5 years in federal prison, followed by 3 years of probation.
Anything about the charges?
4 months ago, a jury found Turner and her son, whose real name is Kishan Anderson, guilty of 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 4 counts of wire fraud for their scheme to defraud luxury merchandise vendors over $1 million. Her attorney, Humberto Dominguez, fought for a lesser sentence.
So we have.
And honestly, this is why it's really important to have fathers in the house. Now, I don't know his father's situation. Maybe the father passed away. But for whatever reason, the mom was not a good influence in his life. Because I remember when Sean Kingston just popped up, man. His hits, Beautiful Girls and things like that, man. Those were nice hits. But trying to live to keep up with the Joneses and this expensive lifestyle. Now, obviously, he hasn't been making music like that. Maybe he writes, but obviously the money slows down. The fame isn't the same. But for a mom, for a mother to influence your son, to help him commit crimes, is crazy. Now she's going in jail. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. I don't know if he has kids. I don't know if he will ever have kids. But let's say he has kids, and let's say in the future he has kids. Can you guys guess what type of father he's going to be? Can you guys guess the chances? What do you guys think? Do you think his kids are more likely to be like him, to be like their grandmother? Or do you think his kids are more likely to be good, upstanding citizens? Who can make a wild guess based off the story, what his mother did, what his mother made him do, what type of role model the mother is to him? What do you think Sean Kingston's kids are more likely to be? Especially because if the mom is not married to the father, the chances are Sean Kingston won't be married either. At least not in a happily married marriage. Crazy.
Mixed feelings on it. We won on some points, and we obviously lost on some other points. All of which will be obviously handled on appeal. Overall, the judge tried to do what was right, what was fair.
Turner appeared for her sentencing hearing shackled in a red jumpsuit. She addressed the judge, saying through tears that she was sorry and that she was trying to keep her son afloat. She begged the judge have mercy on them. While Kingston didn't appear in court today, he did write a letter to the judge. Dominguez tells us what's in it.
She's been a great mom, that she's a loving, caring person, just like I said, to, asking the judge to factor in his, her age and her medical conditions.
Prosecutors presented additional evidence into record where it was uncovered during a special agent's testimony. There were 17 additional victims. That agent said she spoke to those victims and they received fake wire receipts for various luxury goods like jewelry and cars. Some got paid, others didn't. Turner was also ordered to pay victims back. Prosecutors called her a thief and detailed prior convictions, while Dominguez says she got in trouble simply for helping her son.
She's a really caring person. She's helped a lot of people in her life.
Man, hopefully this will be, a lesson to all the guys coming up. Your own mom can put you in shit, if we're going to be honest. Your own mom can be the end of your career. Because now the mom is going to prison. My guess is Sean Kingston is also going to go to prison. He's not going to go to prison and come back and be a hit maker the way he was back in the day, or even writing, or even because now they have to come back out of prison and pay back all the money they stole from people. And this is serious because I think what Sean Kingston is suffering from is, the son husbands, where because the mom didn't have a man in the house, the mom wasn't married, then they make their sons the man of the house. They make the son responsible for taking care of them. Especially this happens to athletes when they sign those big contracts. Usually I've seen so many athlete stories where they talk about, they ask them, what did you do with the first check? What did you do with the first $1 million you got? They usually say, I bought my mother a house. Even most guys who grew up in single mother households, the first thing they say is, man, I want to make it out of the hood and buy my mama a house. It's like, no, that was your father's job. That's not your job. Your job is to start I'm not saying don't take care of your mother, but that whole son husband thing is a real issue. And then we have seen issues where the mom hates on the son if the son gets a woman. The mom starts hating on the son's woman because she knows the son now has to split his money between the mom and his woman or his kids. Usually the mothers don't get along with the son's wives because the money. So, I hope people can learn from this. I hope you guys can learn from this. I'm definitely learning from this, but it goes back to the whole thing of son husbands. Because if your own mother can help you steal and commit crimes that land her in jail, that's the generational curse we talk about. What do you guys think about that? All right, next we're going to go to the Diary of a CEO. Lately he has been talking to, at least the clips I watch are really mostly about relationships, but he's going to talk about why he's not into marriage from a relationship expert's opinion. I watched, as you can see, I watched 4 minutes of the video, and I thought it would be a good thing to learn from, to see, because obviously he's making good money. I think recently he actually turned down $100 million contract to be, I think they wanted to take over his podcast. He said no. So he's making good money. He's in a relationship, but he was saying why he doesn't want to get married. He was trying to be nice, but at the end of the day, the reason he doesn't want to be married is because of the money. Prenups and all those things, divorce. So let's get into it.
I was looking at some stats about marriage, and it says that in 2019, marriage rates for opposite sex couples fell to their lowest on record since 1862. That's in the UK. And in the US, marriage rates have been declining since the early 1970s. And I'm not married, but I spend a lot of time thinking about whether I should be or not. I actually had a conversation recently with my partner where I said, do you want to get married? And it was abundantly clear that she does want to get married. But then I asked why. And really, it seems like it was really just more for the wedding than for some kind of legal contract that we signed with the government. So I'm really wondering, based on everything we know about history and the trade-offs of marriage, should I be getting married?
Yes, because your partner wants to.
Is that reason enough?
But here, all right. So, I think the institution of marriage, what you're going to see, this is my prediction, is that because nuclear families.
What do you mean by nuclear family?
So having well, it's interesting. There's different perspectives now on nuclear family, but I look at it as you have two partners and children, and that creates the nuclear family. That becomes an economic unit, which drives a society. And as that has disappeared, there's been less of a base to drive society, per many researchers. So as a result, what I believe is going to happen, as we see right now in Singapore, as we see right now in China, as we see right now in Japan, you're going to see government heavily involved in incentivizing marriage.
Yeah, they have to incentivize men. And all men are asking for, change the divorce laws. I don't want to have to be paying alimony and spousal support to a woman who divorced me because she didn't feel like she was in love with me anymore. Now I have to pay money every month for her and get kicked out of the house that I bought. And while I pay for her money, spousal support, alimony, whatever, and while I pay mortgage for the same house that I bought, that I got kicked out of, meanwhile, she's bringing in new guys to clap the cheeks. It's like, why am I paying for something that I'm not a part of anymore? That's all men are saying. Change the laws. I'm telling you guys, if they change the divorce laws and they're saying, hey, listen, guys, from now on, divorce means you can't take 50% of anyone's assets, man or woman. I'm telling you right now, you will see men lining up. You will see men proposing left and right, because that's the number one thing that's holding back men from marriage.
Marriage is already incentivized right now in terms of, tax benefits, being able to, leave assets to your partner, leave assets to family members. So as a result of the decrease of marriage and decrease of nuclear families, you will see government step up even more to incentivize. So you're going to see all types of benefits being thrown at people to get married, especially as you not only see marriage rates decline, but as you also see birth rates declining as they are. Now, your question around what should you do is that this is a question around values. And this is a question that I believe is very important to have early on. Now, I was saying, when you meet someone, you should lay out exactly what you want. This is a very important question to have early on. Now, in terms of where you are with your partner, I would say that if she is pro this, and you are indifferent, it feels like you're indifferent, not anti, but indifferent.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhat agnostic to it. However, I can call out a bunch of downsides to getting married.
Really? Like?
Well, again, I don't know because I'm not married, so all the married people are like screaming.
Did he just say like? So he doesn't know the downsides of marriage to a man? And this is what most guys hate. Most guys hate men like the other guy on the other side, not him, the other guy talking, the relationship expert, because no matter how many times men are screaming, the divorce laws, the alimony laws, the spousal support laws, the kick me out of my own house law, all those things, the child custody law, no matter how many times men scream those things, men like him never talk about those issues. Men like him act like, oh, you're just scared. A real man cannot be scared of divorce. You know what's funny? These guys are never in the divorce court laws when men's lives are being ruined. This guy will attend your wedding, but you know something he will never attend? He will never come to attend your divorce proceedings in the courts when the judge is messing you up, when your ex-wife is taking everything. This guy will never show up. He will say he's busy. Oh, but when it comes to your wedding, he'll be the first one to show up.
I know this because they DM me. They've been DMing me for many, many years since I started the Diary of a CEO. Because in some of those early episodes, I was really I was really quite against it. But over time, I've kind of developed my thinking here. I just wonder, I can't understand the first principles as to why having a government or religious contract with somebody is going to increase the probability of success in the union of love. There's obviously the issue with the prenup situation. Yes. I actually don't have this concern with my partner. So I think she's, I think you've met her, haven't you? You've met her, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
From a distance.
Yes, from a distance.
Yeah, I don't have a concern that she's going to try and bankrupt me or that I might try and bankrupt her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what every man who has been bankrupted said. Every man who never signed a prenup and then the woman took half his shit. Those were the famous words every man once said, that I think she's the one. I don't think she wants me for my money. Those were the words every man said, whoever is going through divorce and the woman's trying to take half his shit. Because this guy is rich. Like, we are talking about millions of dollars. But he thinks, for now, because everything is good, for now he thinks the woman doesn't want anything from him.
So that's not really a concern. The whole charade of doing a massive wedding, I think, is a little bit weird. I think, why can't we just have lots of events over the next 50 years will we bring our friends and family versus like one. I've also watched a couple of my friends at the moment who are getting married. The like 2 years of pain and heartache and like canceling date nights so that they can afford this one wedding day feels like highly illogical to me. I've got one particular friend who is having to cancel so much of their like everyday joy to save up for this one big event, which is stressing them both out. And I don't think they're going to have, well, I don't think he's going to have a great time at the wedding anyway, because he seems so stressed by it all. I sometimes hear that people can't like get out of their marriage without having to like file a divorce thing with like through lawyers and going to court and battling it out in court. And I just think you should be free to leave if you want to leave. I don't know. I just think this is a terrible analogy and completely unrelated, but like in football, many of the problems we see with my favorite club, Manchester United, at the moment, is we've got people on 5-year contracts who we just can't get rid of. And like they want to go, we want them to go. But because we sign these long contracts with them, it's like incredibly difficult. And now these players are being like thrown in the back room and they're not playing football and we're like just completely ignoring them because we can't get out the contract.
Yes.
So I don't know, I just think...
Yeah, I hear you. All right, can we talk about this?
Yes.
All right. There are many secular marriages, so you don't have to do anything religious related. And it sounds like a big difficulty that you have, could be the number one, is the wedding. Because, but the wedding...
No, it's the divorce. He was trying to be nice. He doesn't want to get canceled. He has a big podcast, so he can't come out and say it's the divorce. He did mention it, actually. But obviously, all the time, the relationship experts forget the most important thing to men. Most men wouldn't worry about spending so much on a wedding if the divorce won't cost 10 times more. You feel me? So it's the divorce. Most men have an issue with the divorce and how divorce destroys them.
To me, the premise of it is a public declaration of your love. And to your point, it could be as small as you want. It could be as big as you want. You could have as many as you want, right? That public declaration could happen 50 times over 50 years. It is up to you. So that is you and your partner navigating that space. With regard to getting out of it, this is the single biggest change that we need in marriages. Marriages, in my opinion, should be much harder to get into. You shouldn't be able, like literally, you and your partner could go to Vegas, drive up. So a drive through, you could have an Elvis Presley impersonator marry you. You pay $25 and you're married. It's ridiculous. I think that there needs to be hurdles in place. There needs to be some type of vetting, some type of premarital coaching, counseling, so everyone is aware of the commitment that is about to be made. And you have the tools, you have skills around conflict management, etc. It needs to be hard. But then if you want out, you should be able to get out in an hour. It should be easy.
Drive up, Elvis Presley says, it's over.
I disagree. The reason there's so much divorce is because it's actually easy to get out of a marriage, in my opinion. Now, the proceedings may take forever because, you know, courts have some backlogs. You may file your divorce today, but there have been like 1,000 people who filed before you. So the judge is going to see them before you. And it's not like they have 1,000 judges. They may have one judge overseeing maybe 100 cases. So for me, I disagree with him. It should be easy to get married, and it should be very hard. If the institution of marriage is that important to society, it should not be easy to just leave. And people who leave should not be thanked and appreciated and gifted assets of someone else. I'm going to say that one more time. If the people who decide to divorce another person, they want to go, it should be easy for them to go, but they should not be rewarded. They shouldn't get a gift. They shouldn't get a token of appreciation. Hey, listen, we want to thank you for divorcing a man you made vows to stay with for rich or poor. We want to thank you by giving you his house. We want to thank you by giving you 50% share in his company that he had before you found him. We want to thank you by giving him half of his retirement pension. We want to thank you by giving you all his kids and he can see them when you decide to. We want to thank you by letting you stay in the house he had before you met him. Those are the things they should change. But until those things are not changed, men are going to walk away.
$25.
It's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, free, right? That's the way it should be. But it is the reverse. Now, you're right. Marriage is hard to get out of. That's changing. There's now the introduction, especially in the UK, of the no fault, right? But that still could take 6 months or so. There still is a lot of haggle. So I agree with you there, is that it should be much easier to get out. But ultimately, what marriage is a declaration of commitment done in a formal way.
Can you not do that without the marriage? Like, can you not do a declaration of commitment without having to go to like a church or whatever else and sign documents and stuff? I don't know. Is it not possible?
It is.
You know,
it is. So
I think I just have commitment issues. I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's at the core of it.
Because you know what's so interesting to me is that
no, and that's where most men go wrong. Now, I'm going to be fair to him. He has a podcast, so he has to blame himself so that the feminists don't attack him and so that the feminists don't stop watching, right? He has to ride the line, which I also try to do, but in this case, he's lying. It's not that he has commitment issues. He has trust issues when it comes to divorce. Like I said, he mentioned it a little bit, but this guy talked about the wedding rather than focusing on how many men get destroyed when divorce happens. How many men lose their houses, their assets? How many lose access to their kids? How many men have to pay spousal support to someone who claims they're strong and independent and don't need a man? Those are the things men shy away from those things for some reason, and until they start talking about those things, men are not going to get married.
You're already going to, well, how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
Right? And it almost feels as if there's a fear of committing to someone for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Because that's a massive, I mean, think about this. You're going to commit to someone for the rest of your life, for the rest of your days. And what we feel, because I've been there, because when I'm
getting anxiety as you say it, I'm like, fucking hell, the rest of my life.
The rest of your life. But think about this. The anxiety is the fear of what has not even come yet. So that means that you can now interrogate your thoughts. Okay, you have fear over what? What's the fear?
But isn't it just a terrible idea to commit to someone till death do you part? Because, like, imagine if I said to you, you got to pick a job and then you got to do it forever.
Yes.
The amount of procrastination that would occur because of the significance of that decision would basically stop you picking any job at all, because you'd be like, okay, no, I've got to pick one and do it forever. You'd become a perfectionist. You'd be looking for perfection in every single job. And maybe this is in part the issue, is that because we see marriage as being such a final thing, that we really have to make sure the pick is perfect.
It's perfect. I agree. This is one of the myths, right? This whole notion of till death do us part, which really was handed to us in religion. If you look through Christianity, Hinduism, even a lot of the modern day Islamic marriage ceremonies, there's some formation of you will be with this partner for the rest of your life. And I think what that does is it actually sets us up for a lower level of satisfaction. It sets us up for complacency. Oh, this is all we get, right? Instead,
they can't leave me.
They can't leave me. So therefore, I don't have to try as hard. Okay. I don't even have to talk to them now.
Yeah, I don't have to go to the gym.
No, I can just sit here like, so.
I honestly disagree with him so much, because I believe the reason why people use religion, or they brought religion into marriage, is because they know human beings have an issue with commitment. So They're like, oh, you believe in God? You know, God doesn't like people who cheat. God doesn't like people who are disloyal. God doesn't like ABCD. So if you're gonna marry, because you can get married without using God into it, you know, like he said. But if you take those vows and you make those vows, you're gonna have to stick through it. Now, am I saying people should stay in abusive marriages? No, but I'm just saying the reason why they use religion is because they figured if you really fear God that much, you're not going to make a commitment with God involved and you break the covenant. You feel me? So for me, I think the biggest issue is we don't have people teaching us how to be married anymore. He kind of alluded to it when he talked about using, premarital counseling, but it's like, unless the people counseling you are married also, but if you're just seeing some random, psychologist or therapists and they're not married themselves, and especially if they've not been married for a couple of years to show that they understand what they're talking about, until then, it's going to be marriage rates are just going to keep going down, and obviously divorces are going to go up. Also, I believe, this is Boogie's opinion, in terms of premarital counseling, we want to get married, let's talk to people who have been married before. I believe you should also bring people who have been divorced before. They should use men who have been destroyed by marriage as well, who have been destroyed by divorce, to talk to the man and be like, hey, listen, you're going to get married, but this is what's up. This is what you're looking at. This is what could happen to you. And then the man can make a decision, not based off love, but based on real facts. But what do you guys think about that? Link down below to the full video. All right, next we're going to go to Whatever Podcast. So without further ado, let's go.
Do you think that that's like an innocuous task, having children?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like you said, like a girl going out. So if a girl is going on work, then also people are gonna look at her,
Yeah, so I wouldn't look for that.
You want a girl to be just sitting like being a housewife, or a girl being like out working?
No, housewife. Yeah.
Housewife.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, I know it's weird because you're looking at it through the prism of a woman. You're looking at it as a woman who wants a man to be working. Whereas when we look at women, it doesn't really matter to us. If you're not.
And what if she wanna work?
If she wants to work, she can. Absolutely.
But then they're gonna be same problem, the insecurities and everything. Like,
what do you mean insecurities?
That's what you said. She's gonna go out and a lot of people are gonna see her and same insecurities.
Oh look, I'm not talking about seeing you from day to day. I'm talking about being a celebrity. That would be just a headache. I wouldn't want that.
If she is beautiful, I think then also it's got problem at the work too. If she is beautiful.
Well, look, ideally.
From anywhere.
Ideally, what you'd like is a woman who just works part-time but then focuses on the kids. But if she's got something she's passionate about, that's a good thing. You want them to have hobbies and to be interesting and have lots of interests. But you don't necessarily want them to be working 9 to 5 and going every day to work, because then it neglects the children, and the children have to go to childcare.
So you want like a part-time job for her, and that's okay for you, right?
A part-time job would be okay, but ideally not.
So it really is a turn.
Yeah, it's always confusing to me why people have kids and then they go to work to make money to pay someone else to raise their own kids. Why don't people figure out a way where one person can work either part-time, take care of the kids part-time, and then one person, usually who's the man who works full-time to provide for the family. But having to prioritize your work only to pay random strangers. Now, if you have family members who can take care of your kids, that's one thing. But to go to work and then pay random strangers to raise your kids with their own values, like no one will care for your kids as much as much as yourself. So it's always mind-boggling to me, and especially because even when women work, they still expect the man to pay 100% of the bills. Now, if she's bringing in 50%, let's say it's a man making $50,000 and a woman making $50,000, and they both join their money to pay the bills, and okay, I could understand. But even those scenarios, even if she's making 50,000 and the man is making 50,000, she wants to bring home 30,000, save 20, but she expects the man to use up all his 50,000 to take care of all the bills.
off if a woman like wants like a tedious job, like a time consuming job, or a job where she's in the spotlight.
Why would she want that?
Why would you want that?
What do you mean?
She has a right to, like, she can.
I know she's I know she's got a right to, but why would you want that though? If your husband earns enough money for you to not have to go to work, why would you want to go to work if your husband says you don't have to work?
Well, for me, I want to pursue a career in something that I'm passionate for. For example, like in the beginning, I told you guys I wanted to study immunology and become a professor. It takes a lot of time, that's time consuming. But that's what I'm passionate about. And, like, that's what I want to do. Like, I have so much passion for this in this lifetime. And I understand men would feel the same. I would feel like
that's good though. That's your prerogative, and that's no problem. But you guys were looking around like I was strange because I said I wanted a woman who didn't want to have a career.
Mm-hmm.
Why is my preference strange, but yours is not?
Because I think it suppresses a woman's urges. But if you find a woman...
Do you think that a woman has an urge to have children and to raise those children?
Yes.
Good question.
Okay, so I don't think it suppresses the urges. I think it frees her to have children.
I want to...
And it's always funny because when a man has preferences, it's an issue. But when they have a preference, they call it... No, when a man has a preference, they say his preferences are suppressing her preferences. But when they have a preference, they expect the man to accept her preferences. It's just always the double standard that I don't even know if it's ever going to stop. But crazy.
And I do want to say, I have no issue if women want to pursue a career. I don't object to it. I don't think Jake does either. But from a dating perspective, and I kind of stepped away there for a second. I don't think a woman's career, her ambition, how much money she makes, for me, and I think for perhaps a lot of men, I don't think most men really find it more attractive. Now, I do want to just add a caveat here so you don't think I'm a raging asshole. I'm very much in favor of women, for example, going into STEM. Mm-hmm. I actually think it's a very useful career path because, for example, take cancer, for example, or take various diseases that we don't have solutions to yet. I think we should be throwing all of our intellectual vigor at these problems, whether that is a man, women, or both. I think we should be using exploiting is not the right term. Well, we should be exploiting the intellectual power of everyone that we can to solve these problems, which I do think eventually will have a solution. I think everyone here has probably known somebody who's had cancer or has a family member who's had cancer or some sort of disease. So I'm very much in favor, actually, of women getting into STEM so we can tackle these, various ailments that people eventually come across. But from a purely romantic perspective, I don't think men really care all that much about a woman's income or her.
Men don't care.
I'd care more about her having interests, thing that she's passionate about. And if she's running a little business that's operating at a loss and that keeps her happy and interested, I'm happy with that. But
most men don't mind what type of job. Oh, well, let me take that back. Men will care if a woman does OnlyFans or sex work or any kind of BS like that. So but they will care in the case of they don't want to deal with her. But any other normal jobs, most guys don't care. That's why the whole saying of a man will choose a woman who works at McDonald's over a woman who is a CEO of a big company. It's a saying for a reason, because men don't really care. They see beauty, she's kind, she's available, I'm down. You feel me? So I think the biggest issue guys have when it comes to career women is because even when a career woman makes all this money, she still expects the man to pay all the bills. So you're not home cooking me a meal. You're not home taking care of the kids. You're out there working 60, 80 hours just like me, but you expect me to pay all the bills, right? And I can't even ask you for a sandwich. So what's the point of you working if you're not even going to help me with the bills? And that's where I think that's the main issue most guys have.
A 9-to-5 job while you're trying to raise children, for me, it wouldn't be something that I'd like, because you'd want them to be focused on the children. And I think that a lot of guys have that preference, but they're sort of not allowed to say it these days, because then they get all the women who jump down their throat and say, "Oh, you want us to be, chained up to an oven?" No, there are a lot of women out there who hear that and think, "Yes, I would love to do that. I would love to just be a mother, love to stay home. But then there's always this reaction when we say that, where people sort of, especially, no offense, but women who consider themselves feminists, they get like up in arms about it. And there's a lot of women who love that, who want that. So
thank you, Super Jim Photography,
Yeah,
for the
please
gift of
go.
10 subs on Twitch. Thank
So
you.
like when a woman is pregnant to the like first year like of the baby, still she feeds the baby. I got it, like she can stay home and she needs the proper care, and kids need that to be like mom to be around. But I think it should be on the man too, like equally taking care of the kids.
no, not during child rearing, not during the infancy of the child.
Yeah, because a man, how is a man going to stay home, take care of the kids, and the woman is also staying home taking care of the kids? Who's going to pay the bills? The man has to go work the 80 hours since the woman isn't working anymore, because now he almost has to bring in income for the two people, assuming she was actually helping with the bills. Because if the woman was working prior to having the babies, and she wasn't helping with the bills, that means she was keeping her money to herself. So even if she stops working, it doesn't make a change because he was the only one paying the bills. So if the woman is not working anymore, the man has to keep working. It's more of a delegation of roles, specialization. I think we studied that in school. It's like you pick and choose what you're good at, and then you guys find a way to work as a team. But she wants you to go work 80 hours. She stays home taking care of the baby. And after you do your 80 hours, come home and still help her with the baby. Right? It's like, how is that fair to a man? I'm not saying the man can't help at all. I'm just saying, like, to put all this on him. Because if you told her, let's switch the roles. After you have the baby, give me the baby. I'll stay home, take care of the kids. You go work the 80 hours. She's not going to take the deal.
Why do you
Because
think
the
that?
child's attached to its mother. It's biology.
It's just-
Child needs its mother's teat.
I
for
got
milk.
it. For 1 year, a baby is feeding. Okay, the mom has to be close, but I think it's equal responsibility. It gets
Look,
you together.
put it this way. Do you see what's happening in the schools these days?
What's going on? I'm
Do
teaching.
you see the kinds of things that they're teaching in schools these days?
What they
or
are
in preschools? They've got all kinds of different nefarious flags hanging up around the preschools where they're indoctrinating little kids into different ideologies. Okay, so if you're somebody who has certain conservative values, like I do not want my kids being shipped off. I want them to have my values. So I want them to be at home with my wife, potentially even being homeschooled, depending on how bad this stuff gets.
You didn't get my point. I'm trying to say is like you are reducing her working hours because you want her to focus on kids. But I think
I'm not
it's your
reducing her.
equal-
Listen, I'm not reducing her working hours. She won't want to work. Do you think that that's like crazy that a woman wouldn't want to work?
And there's nannies too that can stay home.
And I don't want a
with
nanny
you.
raising my kid. Why would I want a
I
nanny raising
know.
my kid?
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
either. I think there's a complete.
That's the thing. Why have babies, then pay someone else to raise them? They're not going to nobody's ever going to take care of your kids the way you want them to be taken care of. They are going to forget something the mom wouldn't forget. Babies want to stay with their moms. Like if I was a father and I had kids and I have a woman like that, now she's a beautiful woman, so I can see why she has the feminist mindset, because maybe, it's the ego, whatever it is. If this was my wife and she's dying to go to work, I would tell her, you go work, pay all the bills, I'll stay here with my kids, I'll raise them, but I'm not letting my 2 weeks old, even 6 months old baby be raised by some stranger. Or drop off my 6-month-year-old baby to some strange daycare center to be raised by some strange people with weird behaviors, weird cultures, weird beliefs. You feel me?
Honesty to that. I think I used to a few years ago, or the last maybe 2 years, I would have been this more. I still wouldn't call myself feminist, but I had a wall up against men, and I was a little angry about some things that I went through. And so I was like, I'm independent. I can be very independent. I have been for the last few years. I've been by myself, been doing my own thing, taking care of myself. And it was.
That's called being an adult. It's not being independent or anything like you're just being an adult. You're doing what an adult is supposed to do, especially if you're not living with your parents.
Until this year that that is flipping for me, and that I have realized that I have worn myself out. I don't want to be like this anymore. I mean, I want to be able to take care of myself, and now I know I can take care of myself, but I do want that.
Well, I mean,
to be
once you
able to
get-
go into our feminine is to be able
once you
to
get a little
be
bit
taken
older,
care of.
towards the wall that they call it,
Mhm.
that's when you start seeking masculine guidance more.
Yeah,
And
it
you'll
is
start
interesting that
seeking
it
now.
kind of is flipping. That it
Yeah.
used to be that way, and
But
then
the
we
reason
went
why
very
is
feminine
it-
forward, and it is kind of
the
going
reason why
back
it is that
into
way though is because like
care.
the indoctrination is so vast that it's like you're fighting me about saying that you're going to reduce your
I'm
wife's
not
working
fighting
hours.
I'm not fighting with you. Very first thing is like I'm
Listen,
just putting my opinion. Like
No, but you're saying to me you're going to reduce her working hours.
no, that's
yeah,
what
as
you
if
said.
like that's
You
a bad
want her
thing.
to no. It's a very basic thing. Like I would say, kid needs like both mom and dad both. You want a mother to take care of the kids and focus on them, on the values. They should not feel alone. Everything, cultural value, whatever you want to put in the kid. But I think it's from the both side. It should be from the both side. Not only like from the mother. It should be
So
like from the
50-50.
father as well.
It's the
Equal
father's job to
time.
provide for his family.
But yeah, she's
the
working
emotional
too.
support of the
That's
child and the
why-
love of the child needs to come from the mother.
That's what you think.
That's what.
That's just
you
what, like, one
think.
opinion.
Women can earn too.
I guess
That's
I
just
gue-
what you think. Like
That's what you think, Jake.
They're
I
fighting.
guess
Maybe-
throughout history from time immemorial is all wrong, and it's actually the women who are the providers after all, and men
We
are
are
the
not
nurturers.
saying that it's equal. Like you.
How is it equal when you don't want to pay 50% of the bills? This is what gets me. They pick and choose when they want the equality from a man. So when it comes to cooking, they want you to be 50-50, right? When it comes to taking out the trash, they want it 100% of the man. When it comes to paying the mortgage and the rent, they want it to be 100% of the man. Now a man should provide. But when it comes to doing the dishes, oh no, let's go 50-50, right? When it comes to changing diapers of a kid, let's go 50-50. When it comes to paying health insurance, oh no, a real man provides. Now you pay 100% of the bills. When it comes to protecting the house and someone is breaking in, oh no, a real man protects. You protect. When it comes to working on whichever side of the street, oh, a real man walks next to the cars. Like they pick and choose what type of equality they want. And this is what I'm saying. That's why most guys have an issue. Until they can really say, okay, we're gonna go 50 right in the middle. Bring your money on the table. I bring my money on the table. We split. Is rent $1,000? Is rent $2,000? You pay $1,000. I pay my $1,000. Is insurance $800? You pay your $400. I pay my $400. Am I working 80 hours? You work 80 hours too. Are you cooking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? I'll cook Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Are you if that's the equality they really want, then are you protecting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? If somebody breaks them into the house on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's your turn to protect as a wife. I'll just stay upstairs with the kids, and then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's my turn to protect as a husband. If anybody breaks into the house on those days, I will go downstairs. You run off with the kids. If that's the equality they want, then let's go equal. But they pick and choose when they want equality. Anyway, man, shout out to Brian. This was hard to watch. But what do you guys think? Link down below. All right, next up, we're gonna go to MOA podcast. I don't know if it's MOA. I don't know if it's MOA or Mo. I'm not sure, but regardless, I'll still put his link down below to the channel. So let's get into it.
With the things that create a patriarchy, which is assertion, aggression, ambition, then why is it that women continue to give those men who are most assertive, most aggressive, and most ambitious the most sex and the most children? If women did not want those factors, they'd stop sleeping with those men, but they don't stop sleeping with those men. The reason why I would do Scott Galloway is because Scott Galloway is a Democrat, because he doesn't agree with us politically and has still come to the same conclusions we have. That's why I think this is so, this video is so powerful to me.
Woman can go out with a guy, a high status male. She can have sex with him, which gives her the impression that's her weight class for a relationship, but he's not interested in a relationship. And then she basically decides the bottom 90 are no longer in her weight class. And you can't tell a woman to lower her expectations. But the reality is, and what the data I've seen on dating apps, is that all of the women want the same few guys and they shut out the rest.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a few things I'll respond to there. So one, going back to the income graph, I want to just call out that yes, right now in a few urban markets, women are making more than men. So women in DC and New York under 30 are making more than men on average, but in most situations, men are still making more than women, but we're talking about a projection. Going back to the dating research. So yes, it's exactly as you described. what we have right now is there's fewer and fewer men that are hypergamous mates for women. So if there's a much smaller pool of guys, then what you have is you have a bunch of women competing for the same men, and then a bunch of guys get ignored. But what I also see is that those top guys are having a hard time deciding. So I feel like in my coaching practice as a dating coach, I'm working with a lot of women who say, what do I do? I've changed my profile the way you said I should. I took your class, but I still feel like there's just not enough great guys. And then I work with these CEO men who are having such a hard time choosing. And so I think we really have this exacerbated problem where so many women are competing for the same men, and then a bunch of guys are getting ignored. And then what ends up happening is, where do those guys go? And they go online. That's what you see. Or they go to Reddit. They're really going to some of these red-pilled communities. And so what you're seeing now is just men really opting out of society. So when you go back to that stat, 1 in 7 young men in the UK is NEET, not an employment, education, or training. They have just opted out.
So when I heard that, the first thing I thought is, I have a clip where I literally say those exact same words, and I thought to myself, is Scott Galloway watching my show? Because that's exactly how I said it. It's like, because a woman f***s a 10, she thinks that she can date a 9.
Yeah, but when he says it, he's not radicalizing incels to go out and murder people.
The reason why that was so powerful to me is because Scott Galloway probably disagrees with us on almost everything else, and still came to this conclusion that I've been saying before, while these other people keep telling us that there is no crisis in dating. I'm going to listen to Professor Galloway, and I'm going to listen to Richard Reeves. I'm going to listen to those people. I'm going to listen to Dr. Buss. I'm going to listen to William Costello. I'm going to listen to those guys, rather than I'm going to listen to people trying to tell me that that's not what's going on.
Do you think it pushes the other guys, though, to better themselves and kind of look at
some of them, if they feel like they have a chance, but if they listen to Wheat Waffles or any of these other black pillars, they're being told they have no chance. If you're not physically good looking or reach a certain standpoint, you should just give up or just move to another country.
It's self-defeating. It's nihilism.
Now, is that conditioning?
No, it's his ability to provide.
What do you mean conditioning? What does that mean?
Are women conditioned to be that way?
No, what my point is, if it's in every society, if we're talking about the Yanomamo tribe in Venezuela, and we're talking about people in Iceland, those two groups of people have nothing. You can't have conditioning. You understand? If we're talking about an ancestral tribe that has no magazines, radio, or television, then it has to be genetic. There are 3 massive dimorphic differences between men and women. The biggest one of all is men's desire for sexual variety. Is like an average man puts him in the top 1% of women. The wild.
So, before they go on, I gotta say something, right? So we have seen that every single year, women's standards are going higher. They're not coming down. They're not understanding that, hey, listen, we're asking too much of men. No, their standards are just going higher. Just not too long ago in 2024, women started saying 6 figures isn't enough anymore. You guys have watched my videos going through women talking about they want a man making $250,000, making $500,000, making $1 million. It used to be $100,000, so 6 figures, 100K, right? But now they are saying 100K isn't enough anymore. They used to say they want a man who's 6 feet, but now they're saying a man who's 6 feet is not even tall enough. They used to say they want a man with a stable career, stable job. Some of you even watched a video of, I reacted to Lapeef, and the women are saying men with regular jobs are not good enough. They want you to have your own business. They want you to be a CEO. They want you to be a boss. So, unless a man is dumb, unless a man is crazy, unless a man doesn't understand logic, if you are trying to win a prize, but every single year the rules change, and the rules are not changing in your favor, the rules are making it harder and harder, you're going to be a fool if you keep trying. Especially if you know that, you know what, I have someone who's asking me to make $500,000, but I'm comfortable making just 80K for myself. Why should I kill myself trying to make $500,000 when I know even if I get $500,000, she can still leave me? I mean, hell, they left Jeff Bezos. Hell, what's his name? Tom Brady wasn't good enough. So what makes you think you and your $500,000 that because now God blessed you with a height, you're 6'5", and God blessed you with $500,000 that you're good enough? What makes you think you're so special that because you have the attributes they claim they want, that she won't leave you?
this porn star, you know, still like her level for sexual variety is about the same as a median man. And that's evolution. If every society is like that, is that culture? Is that patriarchy?
Genetics.
Oh,
Genetics.
it's genetics. And that, but guys, we don't even have to do the show anymore. The whole point of the show is that this idea for like westernized beauty standards or gender roles, this idea that it's created through patriarchy or social construction is utter and complete nonsense. And there is data that clearly shows this. And if there are gender roles, please don't take this the wrong way, but if there are gender roles, and there are obviously gender roles between men and women, they're not enforced by men. We don't give a fuck. They're enforced by women because it's men competing with other men to impress women. Again, if women have a problem with the things that create a patriarchy, which is assertion, aggression, ambition, then why is it that women continue to give those men who are most assertive, most aggressive, and most ambitious the most sex and the most children? If women
Facts. Until women stop making babies with gangsters, until women stop requiring 6 figures, until women stop requiring guys who are like macho and masculine and they choose the sassy dudes. Because remember, women don't only call you sassy if you don't want to spend money on them. They only call you sassy as a man and gay if you don't listen to their standards or if you have your own standards as a man. That's when they call you sassy. But they can have all the gay best friends, but for some reason they never married those gay best friends. So that should tell you they still choose the masculine guys. So until women start doing the opposite of everything they claim they want in a man and choosing the same kind of archetype of a guy, until then, men are trying to compete for the same things. Now, some guys, if you're a smart guy, you're probably not going to keep trying to fight hard to make $500,000. And some guys are even going for knee surgery to become taller to impress women. You're going to go get knee surgery, mess up your legs, get taller than Boogie, who's 5'8". You become 6'5", and she's still going to leave you or even cheat on you on the side with Boogie, who's 5'8". Like, so what's the point?
Did not want those factors, they'd stop sleeping with those men, but they don't stop sleeping with those men. And so because of that, if I'm a man and I'm objectively looking at the world and I see the nice guy who listens to Justin Baldoni and he's like, he expresses his feelings to women, and then I see this other guy over here who's like ripped, rich, and dangerous, and he runs his own company and he like leads from the front, and this guy gets the hotter girl, eventually over time, societally and genetically, I'm going to be more ambitious, assertive, and aggressive because those are the men who are rewarded with sex. Got it? That's it. Sorry, I don't want to go into a diatribe here, but my whole point is when we talk about this idea of cultural norms versus genetics, we don't give genetics anywhere near as much credit as we need to. I know a lot of women, I have a lot of women who are friends, and I've never met a single one who can bench press more than me. Not one. There's a reason, because evolutionarily, as men, our upper body strength was a survival mechanism for us, and for women being better caretakers of children and women gestating children 100% of the time. Sorry, we just got canceled.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's women who gestate children. Sorry, I got in trouble there. When that happens, genetically, we can understand these things come from our ancestry. It doesn't mean it's wrong or right. If one of you guys told me, like with Sarah, I don't sit there and say, Sarah, you make more money than your husband. How dare you? I don't care. I'm an oncologist who studies cancer. I'm not I don't condone cancer. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. And whenever I meet a guy who's like, yeah, I started dating this female star and we've been together for 10 years and my relationship worked out, I'm be like, hey man, good job, bro. You broke it, good job for you. Like that worked out. You cracked the code. Like, good job, man. We don't have a problem. We don't even have an opinion about it. We're just here trying to describe the playing field that everybody is competing on.
The problem is guys don't know how to portray themselves on social media. So even if you level up, you get the money, you get ripped. Most guys don't know how to portray that on social media in a
because they're incongruent.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, but this again goes to blaming the man. It's like, so you're telling me the guy he finally was blessed by God to make $500,000. Maybe he was lucky enough that God blessed him with height. So let's say he's 6'2", right? Maybe he has been hitting the gym, so he's a muscular type of guy. He's not like fat or obese, right? And you're telling me now I'm going to get disqualified by a woman because my Instagram, I'm holding a dog in my Instagram and I'm taking a walk in the park and I took a photo of me fishing, and you're saying even when I have all these other accolades that women want in men, so now I'm going to be disqualified because I like to fish and I posted the photo on Instagram? You see, so this is where men are like, okay, I can't keep playing this losing game. This is why men are saying, no, I cannot. So some guys are like, fuck this dating. I'm done dating. Let me just focus on myself, go to the gym, watch my movies, eat all the food I want, make my money, save my money for retirement, and to pay for my nurse who will be taking care of me when I'm old. Some guys are like, I'm going to get on the plane, go to Asia, go to Brazil, and find me a good woman. What do you guys think? Shout out to Moa Podcast, link down below. All right, next we're going to go all the way to Whatever Podcast. So today, guys, I have enough Whatever Podcast for you guys. So without further ado, let's go.
If you're not in a no-fault state, somebody can come and say, like, if a guy is divorcing a woman because she cheated on him, he can say, she cheated on me, she ruined our marriage, she's at fault, I shouldn't have to pay her.
Okay.
When you are in a no-fault state, they don't look at any of that stuff. It doesn't matter who did what in your relationship. The person who was making the majority of the money still usually needs to provide.
And was that the case with you? It was no fault?
Yeah, it's a no-fault state.
That sounds crazy. So how do you protect against like cases of like abuse or something? Because oftentimes you can't. Not saying you were abusive. I'm not suggesting you in any way, but people in those situations, I just don't understand. Because a lot of times you can't prove abuse.
That's part of why a lot of people want to get rid of no fault.
Okay.
Because correct.
Thank you,
are
for explaining that. I appreciate that.
Because
nothing against you personally. I'm
No,
just, I'm
but,
not from here,
no,
guys.
I agree with you that it's not fair most of the time what they do when it's like, hey, a guy has to pay half of his money to a woman.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I have a few more questions on this. So,
by the way, guys, this woman who's talking and saying all that no fault divorce and everything, she's getting alimony from her ex-husband, but she's speaking like as if she's not benefiting from the same system that fucks men up. Just letting you know.
When was the divorce finalized?
I don't remember the exact time. It was a few years after we separated.
Okay, so was it before or after COVID?
Before.
Before COVID?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know the length of time he has to pay you alimony?
I'm not entirely sure. It's partly because of his job, and I don't really want to get into that a whole lot. It has to do with the length of time that we were legally married.
Sure. So when you say it has to do with his job, so he was or is a high earner?
No, not necessarily. I don't want to get into what he does for work because this is not about him and his information doesn't need to be out there.
Oh, we don't.
It's about him. He's paying you money for a divorce, for a marriage he's not a part of. He's paying you money because literally he's being punished for earning more than you. Because why is he paying you money and you're not married anymore? I mean, because you're probably going to scream you're independent and you're strong and you can do what a man can do, but you're relying on a man's money that you divorced. I don't know which man. Can any of you guys in the comments tell me, how are you going to listen to her? She's saying she gets alimony from the ex-husband. Which one of you guys is going to watch this video and then come out and tell me you can't wait to get married? Which one of you guys?
Need to know like where he works or a specific thing. Are you able to share like the field that he's in? Is he like finance or?
I can't really share it without giving it away.
That's fine. It's like a famous
and it has to do with us being, because we were legally married for more than 10 years. That makes a difference with it.
How were you legally married from?
Because we split up. We were together for 9 years and then the divorce took a while.
Right. So you each had lawyers?
No.
Oh, okay. So neither of you had lawyers?
Was it a prenup situation?
The paperwork.
Yeah. Did you guys have a prenuptial agreement?
No. There's,
okay.
We don't argue over anything. There's not really like a ton of hard feelings over it. It's just, we sign the paperwork and.
Yeah. I guess what I'm getting at is you guys didn't have kids.
No
during
kids?
the course of the relationship.
Wait. This woman is getting alimony from a man and they don't even have kids? Just because they were married for 9 years? Are you guys watching this? She's getting paid from her ex-husband simply because they were married for 9 years. Not because they have kids, Because I would understand, if they had kids, he gotta give her money to take care of the kids. No issues over there. But he's paying money because they were married for 9 years. And let me guess, she probably still dates out here and she's meeting different guys who are clapping cheeks, yet some other guy is paying. Let me guess, when it's the boyfriend's new birthday, the boyfriend right now, when it's his birthday and she doesn't have money, but then she gets the check, the alimony check, she's probably going to use some of that money to buy the new boyfriend a birthday gift from the ex-husband. Oh my God. It better not be me. I can tell you right now, that wouldn't be me. You guys still want to get married? Good luck.
Was he financially taking care of everything?
Mostly, yes.
Okay. Did you not pursue certain job opportunities because you were with him?
Yeah.
Like, were you working while you were with him?
His job moved us around.
Okay. And then prior to meeting him, like, what were you doing for work?
I was 19.
Okay.
I didn't really work a whole lot.
And were you guys about the same age, or was he a bit
he's
older?
3.5 years older.
3.5 years older. Okay. And was the divorce contentious?
Not really.
Okay. If you wanted to, could you go to the court and say, you know what? I don't want alimony. Could you do that?
Yeah, probably.
Why
Is there
not?
any reason you don't?
She wants the free
Like,
money.
Is he just like, would he voluntarily just pay you the money if there was no
No, he wouldn't.
legal court, whatever?
He wouldn't. Because why? Why am I paying you money and we're divorced and we never had kids? Like, why am I still obligated to take care of a woman that I'm not married to? I might as well get that money and give it to the homeless. Because what's the difference? I'm not attached to the homeless, but they deserve the money. Well, not deserve, but they need the money. She doesn't need the money. She can get a job. But the reason she's never going to go to the courts and say, hey, you know what? I just found it's unfair for a man to pay a woman money after a divorce, especially when they don't have kids. She's never going to say that. Why? It's free money. I probably wouldn't do the same if I married Oprah and divorced her and she's paying me alimony. Yeah, I probably also wouldn't go to the courts and tell them. But the only reason I wouldn't is because I have an example of a woman like her.
I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, it's hard to answer it because it all has to do with stuff with his job.
It's not hard
that I
to.
can't really get into.
It's not hard to answer. It's because you like the free money.
Okay.
Is he with the CIA?
No.
It's
Guess
just
you couldn't tell us.
like,
even if
do
he
you
was.
think, like, but I guess my question is, what I'm getting at here, y'all have been separated for 9 years. Why? And you don't have kids.
Yeah.
When's the last time you? Okay, well, I'll just say, when's the last time you had sex with him?
9
Why
years
would I
ago.
have sex with him when we're not together?
Yeah, exactly.
So why is he paying you? Why would you have sex with him if you're not together? Why would he pay you money if you're not together? Oh my God. I'm heated right now. Look, see, I'm not the only one heated. Look, she's heated too. See, look, she knows it. She fucking knows it too. Look, I'm not the only one. Exactly.
money if you're not together. It's fucking crazy.
Exactly.
In any case, look, there's perhaps some instances where I think alimony could be argued as justified, but you were both single. You've been separated for nine years. Why is this guy paying you fucking money?
He's also not paying me a lot of money, and a big part
doesn't
of it has to
matter.
do with the fact that I moved around for his career and was not able to establish one of my own.
Well, it's been 9 years. Now you can put in a job application and get a job. Look at this woman. You guys think I'm overreacting. Look at the women. The women also know it's crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. If they're in the same position, they probably wouldn't be reacting like this. But because they're not in the position, they understand. When they're not in the position, they can try to understand. But it doesn't make sense. Go get a job. It's been 9 years. Let's say he was giving you alimony for the first 5 years to get on your feet, to find yourself. It's almost 10 years and you still can't get a job? Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Shit is annoying.
So for many years after we split up, I was in a pretty tough situation trying to get my life sorted out so that I could afford to take care of myself more. And
It's
over
been
those
10
years,
years.
he has paid me less and less.
Well, for the period of time that you guys were together, what he was paying all the rent?
Yes.
Okay. Was he paying for food?
Yes.
He was paying your expenses?
Mhm.
Did he give you like a allowance or something?
No.
No allowance.
No.
Okay, so like if you needed to buy something for you, how would you?
I would ask him.
Oh, so okay, you didn't get an allowance, but anything you needed, he would pay for it.
No, not if I needed it. Yes, I didn't go out and just go
Right.
on shopping sprees
Right,
with his
of
money. If I was spending anything more than
sure.
$50, it was, hey, can I get this? And if he
I
said
see.
no, it was,
I
"No,
see.
okay, I won't.
I want to ask the chat. Chat.
shit is
Do
annoying.
you think that, given the fact they don't have kids, they were married for technically over 10 years, but they were together for 9 years, separated, but he delayed his start of the divorce. You think this guy should be paying her 9 years? It's been nearly a decade since
Hell
they've
to
had
the
sex.
fuck to the no.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what if the courts were like, you know what? What about sexual alimony?
Yeah.
Why isn't it men?
Wait,
Hold on.
what?
Hold on.
Mhm.
Look,
You
I'm
see how
not-
they're
wait, I'm not
laughing?
advocating for this. I'm not saying that prescriptively that this should be the case, but you guys would be like, that's ridiculous. Why should the woman have to continue having sex with the man after they've
She's not
broken
married
up?
too.
Why should the man then have to continue paying the woman after they've broken up?
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I think the better question is he happy to pay this money? Number one, like
Of course he's not. Why are you asking random dumb questions? If he's happy to pay that money for someone he's not involved with at all, why don't you send me $1,000, mama? I can send you my cash app right now. If you think men are just happy to pay women money they're not in relationships with, see, you guys, you may think my reaction is crazy. Look at her face. She gets it. Why don't you send me some money? Why are you asking such dumb questions? Oh my God, I'm heated. Like,
does he have an issue? Number two, if it's not a lot of money, what's the reason you continue to take it?
I am still in a position where I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to need it anymore.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been 10
Yeah, but
years.
kind of like with a car agreement, you can't just be like, oh, I got a red car and I signed this lease. Now I want a blue one. And you know, they should just disregard the agreement. Like, marriage is a legal binding between
This
men
chick
and
is
women.
dumb.
So, I mean.
Also, we don't know what they went through. Like maybe she has some like emotional distress or something
We
like
don't
that.
care. She's strong and independent. She gotta find a job. It's been 10 years. Oh my God. Guys, I need a moment of silence. This is crazy. Like, their logic for men to... Guys, if you watch this video and you get married, you're dumb. After watching this video, if you still get married as a man, you're stupid. I'm gonna offend you. I'm gonna insult you anymore. I'm gonna insult you some more. After watching this video, if you still choose to get married, you're a dumbass. I'm not kidding. Oh my God.
No distress.
Yeah, I mean, men are like a lot to handle, especially if we don't know the ins and outs of somebody's relationship.
Wait, hold on. He divorced her.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think that caused emotional
I can't go and be
trauma?
like, you know what? I want a blue BMW.
Wait,
so.
so-
Yeah, she's moved her whole life.
Are you alleging that there was emotional trauma?
I moved my entire life. for
That's not
this
emotional
man.
trauma.
That's emotional stress.
Yeah. Nope.
Moving is a lot. Moving is a lot of work.
She made a fucking choice as an adult. She could have said, no, I'm not going to move for you. She could have said, no, I'm going to get a job and stay in this state. She could have said, no, I'm not coming with you. But she made a choice as an adult. She wasn't a kid who was just dragged along and tied up and thrown into the van.
Hold on, no. Hold on, y'all are crazy. Whoa, moving. In my perspective, when she's saying, "Well, my life, you know, I was moving around," what I hear is she lived for free for 9 years, If
Isn't that
I could get
traditional
with a
woman?
girl and she took care of fucking everything for 9 years, I wouldn't be trying to shake her down
Facts.
for money a fucking decade
Later.
after the last time we even been together.
Maybe you wouldn't.
Facts.
Some men do. Some men will take
him
for
down
women
for
like
money.
Okay,
think-
the
I
legal
think you would.
system is literally a fucking shakedown. It's wealth transfer from men to women.
Yeah.
That's
Facts.
the legal system.
Okay, my other question is, if the positions were reversed, obviously you're the only one that knows the full in and outs of your relationship. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to judge anybody. Well, I kind of
You
am
can
a little
judge.
bit, but
You
I'm
can
not going to judge you.
Judge
because you're very sweet.
Judge Chloe.
My question is, come on, Mary, you're like, do it. If the positions were exactly reversed, would you be happy to pay him as well?
I don't know if I would be happy about it, but
Of
if I had-
course. Oh, of course you wouldn't be happy. Who would be happy to pay someone money after a divorce for 10 years just because with no kids? I don't know if you guys know, they got no kids. So it's not like he has to pay her money to take care of the kids or anything. No, they got no kids. It's been 10 years. She still cannot get a job application to, because it's free money. Like I said, I probably would do the same. But just think about it. She literally just said she wouldn't be happy to do it, which lets you know when they scream equality, it's only when it benefits them. It's not because they want equality that they will be willing to pay you.
married somebody that was a lifetime commitment and they moved their entire life for my career so that I could do what I wanted to do and live my life how I want to, then I would probably understand that if that's how the courts are set up, that's just something I have to deal with, or if that's whatever it is that has to do that, then
But here's what I don't understand, right? So I think there is, I hear the other side when it comes to alimony and divorce, where it's like a woman, let's say you meet a girl and she was in college at the time and she was pursuing software engineering, and had she gone on to get that degree, she would end up making, upon graduation in some cases, immediately they start making $100,000 a year. A lot of these software engineers can make into like the $200,000, $300,000 a year eventually. But I guess my question is, what if a woman, prior to meeting her, she was a hairdresser, and that was what she was going to be for the rest of her life?
some
There's
hairdressers
not
make six
really
figures.
like, you don't really, I mean, you can raise your prices over time.
No, some
but
make
if you're a
six
hold on.
figures.
If you're a hairdresser, you keep the skills that you got prior to entering the relationship. Why should a man then basically what's the term for it? Subsidize your life?
No, it's not even subsidization. It's punishment. It's like they're punishing you. It's not even punishment. It's worse. It's slavery at this point. I'm gonna be honest. Like alimony is slavery to me. It's not different because you're not getting anything in return. You're paying money, but you're not getting any benefits from it. That's slavery. It's probably worse than slavery.
Once that relationship ends, you can just go back to the career you were doing and basically make what adjusted for inflation or whatever, make what you were doing at the start of the relationship. I realize not all people are hairdressers, but also not all people are software engineers. So
Most people, after they've not been working for a while, have a very hard time going back to whatever career they were doing and making the same amount. For one, makes it very difficult.
okay, but there's this lack of acknowledgement. Like the way I'm viewing it is, if he was supporting you during this entire time, I view that as a windfall where you didn't have any actual expenses. Like you didn't pay for rent, you didn't pay for food, you didn't pay for XYZ expense for a period of, 9 years you were together. I view that as a windfall. And I don't know, that's,
But would you have been happy?
Yeah, because it's not like he was saving that money. It's not like she was spending any money. He was still taking care of everything in the marriage. And then he still has to keep taking care of everything for her after the marriage? Hell to the fuck to the no. No. Like, guys, please. Guys, this is the only reason men should marry women who are richer than them. I'm going to say it right now. Guys, if you really want to get married, if you really, oh, I want true love. Oh my God, I can't wait to find a queen to be with for the rest of my life. Make sure she makes more money than you, and make sure she doesn't sign a prenup, because they're smart. She literally said she wouldn't be happy to pay a man alimony. That's why she didn't sign a prenup. So make sure you don't sign a prenup when a woman makes more money than you. But most importantly, find a woman who makes more than you. Because clearly, shout out to CGA, they're not in love. They are in business. Men are in love, women are in business. Shout out to CGA. Guys, please marry only rich women. Otherwise, you are going to be the type of guy to pay a woman who divorced you 10 years ago, continue sending her money, and Boogie's going to clap her cheeks. And she's going to use the money you send her to buy Boogie gifts. She's going to use the money you send her to take Boogie out.
Happy to have paid the bills? Did you put aside your dreams and your goals and your education to support him in his endeavors?
Yes.
So I don't see what the issue is. I think that there's...
How did she support him? She didn't even get kids with him. He was supporting her the whole entire time. How did she support him? No kids. If she was home with kids, raising the kids the entire 10 years they were married, I would understand. In that case, he would have to pay child support for the kids, but they didn't have kids. And 10 years later, she can't find a job.
Should be a time cap. 9 years, I think that's a little long. However, Brian, if you are, if say you're with a woman and, she's like, I'm a rock star and I want to go travel the world, but you have to be with me. So you have to give up your podcast, everything you're doing and all the money you're making, and come, I'll take care of you. But then she's just one day, she's like, yeah, like I'm going to divorce you, whatever reason, whatever. Would you not feel kind of slighted? You'd be like, I had my own stuff. But then on the other side...
No, I wouldn't be slighted because I made a choice as an adult. I could have said, no, I'm going to stay doing my podcast. I could have said, no, I'm going to chase my career. I don't have to follow you around. But you shouldn't be punished just because I said yes. You shouldn't be punished because at this point, the ex-husband is being punished for being married.
Of it, it's like, that's your choice. So I'm kind of 50-50. I think 9 years is a long time, but I also think if you've put your whole life aside for somebody to support them in their endeavors, which often happens in relationships, then I get it.
For
9 years, no. But I get it. Like 2-3 years after.
Or perhaps
why
like
not?
at a minimum, when the relationship's ended, if you've been the sole provider of all the finances and everything, just like a grace period when the relationship's over of supporting them to the point where they get financially, stable enough to support everything themselves and then take it away, versus like we were together for 25 years. Now I'm going to have to pay you every month a certain amount, for the 25 years, even though we just split up for like the rest of our lives.
There are definitely a whole bunch of different scenarios that can either make more sense for there to be alimony. But, in this case, I think that, I think, yes, I'm not going to be super hard line where it's like, all right, you're a woman, you met young, you've been with the guy for 40 years, and then he dumps you. I think it'd be fair to say that there should be some component of ongoing support, perhaps not for the rest of their life, but for a period of time. But in this specific example, and even in this specific example, I'd be willing to grant perhaps a year of alimony would be warranted just to get somebody back on their feet. But I mean,
that's fair.
What? 9 years, a decade's a long period of time.
Yeah.
So what, like,
if I may
you can't.
add, I mean, to me, the way that I'm like hearing the whole alimony situation is, it sounds like you were promised a certain lifestyle and you were promised a certain financial
in
freedom
the marriage
or a certain dream or like home, family, whatever. And because that promise was broken, like during that promise, you were like, oh, I don't need to go do all these other things because I'm taken care of. But once that promise is broken, you were expectant of those things for the next coming years. Like you were comfortable in the knowing.
Guess what? The man was expecting sex too. So should he keep getting sex from her the same way he's paying alimony? You're probably going to say no. Once the marriage is over, Bye. We don't need any, like, it's over. I don't need to provide for you. I don't need to protect you. You know, you don't need to give me any intimacy. That's it. We shake on it and that's it. Now, when we have kids, we gotta talk and take care of our kids. But have logic. Guys, if you get married after watching this video, you're dumb. All right, next, we're gonna go all the way to No Fugazi podcast. I think second time I'm reacting to this channel, maybe third time. So shout out to the brother over there at Fugazi podcast. Let's go.
I'd like to say something about your guys' conversation. So I think obviously like it's easy to get with like a bum from McDonald's because we're like, oh, he'll be loyal to us. But also I think it's natural because we're young to keep searching for someone who can provide both loyalty and what we want. And I don't think that means we don't prioritize both. Like I think we can still prioritize loyalty and what we want while searching for that. That doesn't mean we don't prioritize loyalty because we're not settling young.
You want marriage.
We want loyalty and then everything like we just put down. I think it's natural since we're young to look for both at the same time.
Go ahead. They want the marriage, but they don't want to be wives. There's a difference. Don't forget.
I think, in my opinion, that he's not saying you can't look for both. I think he's just saying the percentage of men you're going to find and what
So
you're
you're just
looking
saying
for
it's
is
like
extremely,
So you're saying it's like
extremely small.
improbable. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's improbable. So the thing is, women, you tend to look at what's possible, and men, we're like deductive problem solvers. We're critical thinkers. We look at what's probable.
I think
Like,
it's natural though for women to think like that.
Survival of the fittest.
I mean, we can say it's natural for sure, and I can
think
say
it
that
can
it's
work
natural,
out
but
sometimes for the best.
to think about, oh, it's possible.
Yeah, because instead of settling, there are those cases where women do not settle and they try, even if it's a small percentage, and they do get what they want. And I think it's that hope that
But
makes
it's a
women
very,
do
very
that.
small percentage of women that
but
get
I think
what they
it's
want.
that hope. Like that's why people buy lottery
So-
tickets. They know they might not win, but I think it's the hope
Yeah, so
about it.
is it so that's a dumb way to think.
Right.
So think about if everyone adopt. Well, let's just think and have a logical conversation. If you adopt the thinking and the mindset of, well, I'm going to live in possibilities, maybe I can hit the lottery, because literally her preferences was a man that's less than 1%. So finding that man is literally, it would be like hitting the lottery. Now, if you're going to live in possibilities, that would be delusional. And also that would be what you would call is like insane. Like if you keep on doing the same thing over, expecting a different result, that's like, no, you're a lunatic. So the smart person would operate in probabilities, right? Because what's probable? Well, the man, and we all know, we're not trying to get on your preferences or say you got to lower
I
your
think
standards.
a lot of people do
but we're
do
trying
that.
to give you the reality of it. Like, well, you may need to think about your preferences.
Most marriages, I feel like they do settle, even if it's not what they wanted. Like most marriages do, like the divorce rate's really high. I think a lot of people do marry just settling, and then they're not happy, so they do end up divorcing. I think that does also happen a lot.
No, most people, in my opinion, are getting divorced. Oh, the divorces are high because most people are not taught how to be wives. Women were not taught how to be wives, and men were not taught how to be husbands. In other words, most people were not taught marriage values. Because remember, marriage, relationships, it's a skill. You have to learn how to communicate. You have to learn the values. You have to learn the reasons why you're getting married. It's not the whole love Disney fantasy that we all grew up watching on TV, thinking, oh, you marry the love of your life and you're never gonna have disagreements, everything's gonna be okay. No, because we were never taught. We didn't see it coming up in the house. How many of you guys grew up with the mom and the dad for your entire childhood, your entire adulthood? No, most of you guys realized what life is. Let's say whatever age a kid starts to realize, age 6, 7, whatever, you realize, oh, it's just the mom in the house. It's just me and my mom and the siblings. Until you figure out, oh, she had us, and then you never seen your father, things like that.
Another reason why we want to bring up that calculator, because most women miss out on a great man because he wasn't 6 foot, or he didn't make $500K, or he didn't meet your physical requirements. Because there are a lot of great guys, like Cooley said, that would treat you right, not have multiple women, marry you, and give you everything you want.
They don't want
but
them.
You guys are walking past Clark Kent every day, not realizing he's Superman. You know,
They friend zone them every single day. If you guys wanna, you guys can do experiment. If you guys have like a female friend, or you know, if a female co-worker that you vibe with, or you guys are cool, ask her one day to show you her inbox, whether it's on Instagram, and especially dating apps. One time, a female colleague showed me her dating app. She had over 500 messages from men that she hadn't responded to. And I'm like, how are you going to choose? And guess what? Usually they even fail to choose because they have so many options they have to choose from. So it's true. Usually the good guys, they either friends on them, they don't respond to them. Now, I'm not going to say it's easy to respond to 500 messages. It's going to be probably hard to pick and who to pick, who not to pick. But my point is they have the options. Just sometimes they overlook them.
You know what I'm saying? You guys are walking past Clark Kent every day, not realizing he's Superman. You know what I mean? So just, we're not saying date a broke guy. No, every man needs to be financially stable to have a family and date, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with dating a guy that makes $80K a year. You know what I mean? It all depends on where you live. For example, if you have a guy that makes $80K a year and you have a guy that makes $200K a year, if you're not good at managing your money, if you're not good at finances, the guy that makes $80K a year could have more money than the guy that makes $100K a year, $200K a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about money management also. You know what I'm saying? The guy with $80K a year, he probably got money saved, car paid off, great credit. The guy making $20K a year, he probably barrel money.
Yeah, and even saying that you don't even know these things, but you would disqualify a man based off of some income and stuff like that. But
yeah, because to them, the guy who makes $80K a year, to them, it doesn't sound like he has enough disposable income to take them on those 3 trips. You guys know, if you're really in these social media trips that, streets, that these days women, when it comes to traveling, to women, traveling is almost like a guy who makes 100K and a guy who's 6 feet tall. Traveling, so a man may make $500,000 a year. He may be 6'5". He may have good muscles, but some women may disqualify him if he says he doesn't have a passport. So that's why they reject a guy with an 80K, because for them, they're thinking, you gotta have enough money to take me on these trips. Because remember, one single trip, and we're even talking about Mexico, we're not even talking about going all the way to Africa and all these other Europe, other countries. One single trip could cost you anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, depending how expensive your hotel, what food, what things you're going to do over there. Now imagine for 2 people. Now imagine doing that 3 times, because any woman would love to travel at least 3 times, not paying from her wallet, but paying from the man's wallet.
We got moving on because we've been stuck on this convo for a little bit. We got word in box. She says, godless beings equals BG. Repent. Turn to Christ, ladies. So that's what GBs mean. We got JB the King. Citizen $5 says, when in a relationship, do you think it's okay to dress provocatively?
From the beginning or never at all?
Well, it says within a relationship.
Yeah, from the beginning of the relationship or never at all.
Well, it says just within a relationship. Once you get in the relationship,
Like in public?
is it ever okay for you to dress provocative? If you think yes, raise your hands. You say
I guess
yes.
it depends on the
You say
severity.
yes.
No.
They all want to
Okay.
raise
He's
their
by
hands.
himself.
They're scared.
Right.
See how they're all like this? They're scared. But at the end of the day, if they didn't think somebody was gonna argue with them or debate them, they would all raise their hands.
No,
Together. Why?
no, we're saying like it's in public. If you're in a
Oh, no.
relationship with a man, is it ever okay to dress provocative?
How provocative. I thought you meant like when and what timing of Like the ass out? relationship.
Oh no. He's just saying.
When you're with your man, yeah, wear what you want. Don't date a bad if you can't handle a bad bitch.
Okay, maybe it's a little bit differently. Let's word it this way. Okay, what about this? When in a relationship do you think it's okay to dress provocative? Okay, so that let me look at the comments. How did he word it? Okay, it ain't no comments. Okay, you said never, and you were saying like
Always. Like if you're secure, you're secure.
I'd say that.
Like don't tell me what to wear. Like I
Okay,
don't want to
gotcha.
walk out naked. Like, but I mean, if I did and my man's beside me, like.
All right, if you don't want me to tell you what to wear, don't tell me what to pay for. Ladies, you see how that works? Because when it comes to paying bills and dates and paying for trips and things like that, you want to tell me what to pay for. But when it comes to me telling you what to wear, I should, your body, your choice. And that's why men are saying, my wallet, my choice.
You know,
What about you? You think that?
I think if she's already dressing that way when you meet her, you shouldn't expect her to
no,
change.
she's not dressing that way. She's not
So
just.
it's like a new thing.
Let's just say you and your man go out and you decide to have your ass and titties out.
That's just a little weird because what are you looking for? I don't know. Unless that's like already how you are.
But you said that you would.
Okay,
you
so
don't want
when
a man to tell
when
you how
I
you dress.
misunderstood the question and I was like from the beginning or not at all, I
Yeah.
was saying kind of what she was saying. Like, did you meet me like that? Was I already dressing like that? So like, if I was already
don't
dressing
matter,
like
it
that,
just-
and you decided to date.
No,
That's
no,
how I
no,
was
no.
looking
That's
at
a
the
good question. No. So let's say
So-
no, I did not meet you dressing like.
Okay.
And,
So
and one night we
provocative
go out, you want to dress provocative.
I
Is
mean,
that
I would,
okay?
I would make sure my man felt comfortable, but I would think that my man should feel comfortable because, like, I'm one of those people. Like, if girls are looking at my man, like, I like like that, like, because I'm leaving with him. I came with him. Like, that's my man.
Men
Like, I
and
know
women
he
are
looks good.
different.
Yeah, but no, I'm
what
just
you gotta
saying.
understand is men are disrespectful. Like,
But also, if I was getting dressed and my man like completely felt uncomfortable, it was going to start an argument. It was going to be end of the day.
But you would
All right,
think
I
that that
change
man
my
would be
fit.
like insecure
But-
because he's like trying to control you.
No, I mean, I would change my outfit because I would rather not argue with my man over the outfit, but I would want my man to be secure in whatever I wear. and be like,
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's
you
fine.
would want your man to accept your judgment based off
know
of how you dress.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna make a bad analogy, like Cardi B and Offset, because like R.I.P. them right now. But
Yeah.
like how she would be in the club and he would be standing there, like, because like that's my girl. I'm taking her home. That's you know. So like I would think that like I would not like for a man to tell me
Damn,
not
we
to
are
wear that
cooks.
if he's like going with me.
Guys, we're cooked. so women are literally saying that even if they're in relationships, they want to act single. So the things they were doing before they got in a relationship with you, they still want to be able to do those same things. But then if men start saying the things I was doing when I was single, I want to keep continuing to do those things, women won't like it. Because she claims if you found me dressing provocatively when I was single, you should accept me the way I am. So men could simply say, when I was single, you found me not paying for dates. So if we get in a relationship, don't expect me to pay for dates. Don't expect me to pay your rent. Don't expect me to pay your phone bill, because when I was single, I wasn't doing it. You see how that logic doesn't make sense?
I wouldn't go out without my man because I don't want to do that.
Okay. There's a reason why in Islam they make women wear hijabs and cover up, because there's something about the male's nature. Men, we judge women with our eyes. We fall in love with our eyes. Women fall in love with their ears. So when it comes to male nature, you know, we have a natural proclivity to undress the woman. She could be fully dressed and we're still trying to undress her with our eyes, right? Now, if she doesn't have anything on, it's like, well, we don't got to do much. We ain't even got to have an imagination. Shorty, you're already showing it. Not only that, part of the way a man protects the woman is protecting her from herself, because women, you live a very comfortable life. And the life that you live is based off of the things that men provided to you. And I'll explain. So your life is very privileged as a woman. You live in this first world country. All your rights is given to you by men. Men, we have this urge to have sex, but grape rates isn't high. Men aren't around here just graping women and stuff like that. Grape rates are very, very low. It's not prevalent. With that being said, you're protected. Men aren't graping and doing bad things because there's other men to put them in line. They know that they're going to experience consequences for their bad behaviors. Not only that, most crimes that's done is done towards other men by men. So what I say all of that to say you live a very comfortable life. You're protected, right? You're protected in this society. Now, are there exceptions to the rule, and are, you know, bad things happen? No, there are bad men and people do bad things, but I'm speaking in general now. But I say all of that to say when a man has a standard and says, hey, I don't accept a woman that's dressing like this. He's doing that to protect you from other men, just like we built a society to protect you from other men. So he's just doing the things that's natural in him.
I agree with the sense of, like I said, when it comes down to, I think that any relationship is a give and take. So you have to compromise in all senses in a relationship, which is why I'm not in one. That's not what I'm trying to do right now. So if I had...
She's in the streets. That's what that means. She's not trying to listen to a man. And honestly, which... there's nothing wrong with that. She's saying she's not in the position to listen to what a man has to say or compromise, because relationships, she's right, relationships are all about compromising. But the thing is, when it comes to a woman listening to a man or to respect what he wants, it's not a turn off switch. So let's pretend right now she has a turn off switch from listening to what men want in a relationship. She's not going to wake up one morning at 45 and then turn it on. No, if she has been used to not listening to a man, it's always going to manifest itself in relationships, but at the same time, men are learning, because the same woman who says, I'm not going to listen to a man, I'm doing my thing right now, she still expects men to provide. So men are saying, since you can't listen to me, I'm going to turn off my provision. Because when it comes to them, they say it's natural for men to provide. So men are like, no, it's not natural anymore. No more provision. I'm going to turn off my provision switch. And that's why relationships are cooked. But anyway, man, shout out to No Fugazi Podcast. What do you guys think about that? Until next time, peace out.